the development of full artificial intelligence would spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
I don't know if it was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 6, 3, 2, 9, 7.
Media doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. And hello to all of you who might also have troubled minds. And happy birthday to Bailey, Monochrome on Discord. What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. I hope everybody's doing well, sticking in there, dealing with this bullshit election season. I tell you what, every single day the news gets worse. More sloppy, more deceitful. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. We're going to talk about a little bit of that tonight in a non-political way, hopefully. And yeah, holy shit, right? If anybody watches the news, oh boy. I always say off the rails. I think, is there a term beyond that? Exploded into a... yeah, anyway. This show is about aliens. Conspiracy, the paranormal, and we are going to talk about aliens tonight. It's yeah, I mean, we talk about the 24-hour news cycle. We talk about all this stuff, right? We talk about the government. We talk about academia. We talk about major corporations and the whole bit, right? The whole bit, the whole deal, the whole upside down we're living in that we're supposed to pretend is the right side up. That is what this show is about. And did I mention this show is live? If you're listening on Friday night, and it is Friday night, you can dial this phone number. You can get on the show this way, 702-957-1037. You can also click the Discord link. You go to troubledminds.org. That's the official website. And you can join the show both ways. Simple as that. 702 is a Las Vegas area code. That's where we're streaming from. And Discord is a chat client, voice client, and it's how we do the show. It's part of how we do the show. It is not a long-distance call. So if you prefer the old school, we got the phone number. If you prefer the new school, we got the Discord. So watching both as we go, and anybody's welcome on the show. So we will be talking about UFOs tonight. So if you have seen... some UFOs and whatnot, feel free to take the show over and call in and just tell us what's up with the UFOs. I mean, we'll take as many calls as we can. We always do. We'll make time for you. That's why we do it this way. It is a long format talk show is what this is. And so it is a long, full 3 hours, okay? We take a quick break in the middle, but for all intents and purposes, we're here to talk. That's what this is about. This is about talking, kind of get through, to hold on tight, to maybe a gathering group to get us through election season. Maybe I don't know. I hope so. I hope that helps. I hope it all helps. Yeah, we're about positivity, by the way. Yeah. Anyway, you guys know that. If you guys listen, you guys know that. So here we go. That's what this is about. So we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube. We're streaming on Twitch. We're streaming on Periscope, which is part of Twitter. We're streaming on DLive. We're streaming, did I say Twitch? We're streaming all over the damn place. So basically, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do shout-outs, all right? So type in the chat where you're listening from. We'll shout you out. I see Laura there. What's up, Laura? Laura from Lakeland, Florida. Hello. Thanks for showing up. I got Eric. I have to name a couple before the chat scrolls down too far and I miss them. William from Singapore. What's up? Thanks for being here, guys. Okay, so if you want to shout out just like that, type in the chat where you're listening from, and also type in the chat throughout the whole show if your comments are particularly funny or relevant or I don't know, somewhere in between or whatever. We'll read those as we go as well. So go ahead and type your where you're listening from. We'll shout you out, and then they're going to get to some conspiracy news. We always do conspiracy news to keep it relevant and to keep it to kind of pay attention to what the news cycle's doing. And so not only that, right? So it is, as we all know, the biggest election of your life is in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or some shit like this, right? I just can't help it, right? I'm getting like spam called day and night from these political types, people knocking on the door. Are you gonna get out the vote to Joe Biden? I'm like, can you please leave me alone? Please leave me alone. And yeah, I mean, yeah. So if you guys are getting some of that as well, and it's getting on your last nerve, well, I'd love to hear about it because, well, that's why we do it live and why we share this information together. Because I want to know what's happening in your neck of the woods. I want to know if shit is burning down out there, or if they're just knocking on your door saying vote Biden. Because I tell you what, I haven't had a single person knock on my door or call me and say vote Trump. So that's a little weird. If you ask me, you'd figure you'd get a little bit of that, but no, none of that at all. Okay, so anyway, with all of that said, shout outs coming, conspiracy news, and then we're going to talk about UFOs. Like I said, we're going to talk about the Shag Harbour UFO incident tonight. And many people know that as what would you say? Canada's Roswell, right? It's probably their most famous UFO crash, and it's got some underwater action going on and a lot of really suspicious stuff that 50 years later is still worthy of talking about. So we're going to talk about that, but again, it is about UFOs tonight, so if you want to be part of the show and tell us about your UFO that you saw, we'd love to hear it. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link and get on the show that way. It's simple as that. And here we go with the shout-outs. I said, what's up, Laura? What's up, Eric? What's up, William? We got Paul from Iowa. Thanks for showing up. Let's see. We got Luke from South Carolina. Good evening. How you doing? Eric says, let's get the alien talk on. Hell yeah. What's up, Elizabeth from Oregon? How you doing? Thanks for being here. We got John from Del Rio, Tennessee. Thanks for showing up. Suspenseful lobby music tonight. Yes, indeed. Indeed, it is October, the middle of it, after all. Ister, what's up? How you doing? Okay, with a sad face? A sad face? Hello to you with your sad face. Stick around, maybe you won't be so sad. Robert, Puff Puff Pass, what's up? What's up, buddy? How you doing? Christopher, greetings, fellow Earthlings. Thanks for showing up. Robert, thanks for being here. Robert says, I wish I could stay for the whole live stream, but I'm feeling a bit under the weather, so we'll go to bed early. No problem. Thanks for showing up, and the most important thing is your health. Without your health, we don't have anything, right? So, yeah, definitely take care of yourself first, guys. Appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate you coming and saying hello. Kelly says, what's up, Kelly? Kelly from Colorado. Here is the world. Beautiful and terrible things will happen. Don't be afraid. Great quote. Good evening, peeps. How you doing, Kelly? Jordan from Erie, Pennsylvania. Thanks for showing up. We got Caesar and Veronica from the high desert, California. Thanks for being here tonight. We got Brett in Royce City, Texas. Back for more troubled discussions. Hell yes. Let's see. Well, what else do we got? So we got. I'm seeing top fan badges back. They come and go. That Facebook algorithm. I tell you what. It's so fickle. It's so fickle. What's up, Jimmy from San Antonio, Texas? How you doing? I got family out there in San Antonio. Hey, what's up? What's up? Thanks for being here. Over to YouTube, we got Fred from Phoenix. How you doing, my man? We got Eric from Pittsburgh. Eli, hello. We got Noble Cal L. Blah 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 blah. I wish I could listen to this on loop. Yeah. Yeah, you mean the music? I could get you that MP3 if you want. Let's see. Eddie says, Eddie from Las Vegas, happy Friday, everyone. That alien standing over the sleeping dude is a trip. The mark of my dignity shall scar thy DNA, says Cedric. All on YouTube. What's up, guys? Thanks for showing up. Noble Kal-El is on Twitch. And also, as far as I'm aware, still boosting our Discord server. No pressure. You don't have to. But I want to say thank you if you are. Appreciate that. I don't pay attention as much as I should. There's so many things to pay attention to. It's terrible. It's terrible. Jeremy from Galveston, Texas. What's up? Joey, thanks for being here tonight. Okay. All right. Let's see. There it is. Okay. All right. Yeah. There is a weird thing with chat, guys. If you haven't noticed on Facebook, there's chat that just disappears. Matter of fact, he's probably going to join us tonight. GameVet01 on YouTube. If you're out there listening, I tried to find those documents you sent, or the video that you sent, and I can't find it. I swear it disappeared from my Facebook. So I saw it when you first sent it, and I went back to look for it, and now it's gone. So I don't know. I know how to check, messages, and I'm not that senile. So there's something up. There's something up whatever you send out. If you're not on yet, I'll shout you out and explain when that happens. So that's what's up. All right, here we go. All right, let's see. We got Larry from Canada. Let's see. We got who else? Yeah, but they do. They kind of they swat messages down right here in the chat in real time. Joey from Louisiana in the house with Kat and Spen. Tell Kat and Spen hello. What's up, Kat and Spen? Hello. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being nice to Joey. All right, let's go. Let's do it. All right. What's up? Noble Kal-El says, I'll keep boosting as long as you keep going. Appreciate that, my man. Thank you. That's very nice. So let's see. Hey, you on YouTube. Please no reading from the Book of Scary Stories. That was a rough episode. Oh, shit, that was a year ago now, wasn't it? Glad you're still here, Mike. Keep fighting. Love the show. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys have been listening for a year or so-ish, last year's we did a Halloween episode that just turned into a mess. I don't know. Maybe it was not as terrible as I thought, but some are just better than others. All right, let's go. Let's do conspiracy news. I'm just laughing too much at myself tonight. All right, let's go. Let's start with SciTech Daily. Now check this out. I actually reported this. This was a preliminary report way back. Like, this was probably several months ago, okay? And this was one of those things where I was like, oh, hey, this is a little bit weird. That people are talking about this and doing this. And, at the time, it was not peer-reviewed, and there was no actual additional information. But now, several months later, so what was initially reported was that it appears that this COVID thing seems to not have as harsh an effect on people with type O bloods, right? Type O positive, I believe O negative, and I think type A. I don't know. Let's read the article and find out. But so they reported this. It was literally about 2.5-3 months. It was a long time ago. And, I kind of just threw it in passing out there. But it appears that now, as more data comes in, that this seems to be the case. Okay, so here we go. So 2 studies published today, October 14th, 2020, in Blood Advances suggest people with blood type O may have a lower risk of COVID-19 infection and reduced likelihood of severe outcomes. So including organ complications if they do get sick. So interesting, right? So blood type O may offer some protection against COVID-19 infection, according to the retrospective study. The researchers compared Danish health registry data for more than 473,000 individuals tested for COVID-19 to data from a control group of more than 2.2 million from the general population. Among the COVID-19 positive, they found fewer people with blood type O and more people with A, B, and AB types. So there you go. So as more data made itself apparent, it seems to be confirmed now that there's definitely a blood type O type of I don't want to say immunity, but it seems to be a little bit more robust in the body against COVID-19. So there's that. So take that. I said take it with a grain of salt. I said way back when, I'm not saying anybody's immune or that you should be careless. You should always be careful. However, now if you're type A, type B, or type AB, you should be extra careful because there's been organ damage and all kinds of really sick stuff after COVID-19. So just a heads up if you're more or less susceptible. Some of us got the genetic Yahtzee here. I'm actually type O blood, so I'm pleased to see this, but I'm also terrified to see this for all the rest of the people that don't have type O blood. So yeah, again, do take it serious. Do all the things you're supposed to do, because it is when it hits you, and it hits you hard, it seems to be persistent. It seems to be all the rest of this. So just an FYI, if you guys have I'm laughing at the chat. If you guys have anyway, just a public service announcement. This is what our science is telling us today. So, well, I'm told science is on the ballot from all the commercials that are just spewing through constantly. I can't get away from political commercials. Okay, all right, here we go. Now I haven't had a chance to see this myself. So moving on from that, we don't do a lot of COVID news. We did a lot of COVID news before anybody was talking about it. Well, because we're ahead most of the time of what everybody else was talking about. So. So we're not going to continue with a ton of COVID news here. I just wanted to point that out in case nobody had seen that. It seems to be backed up by data at this point. Okay, so just by a lot of data, not a small sample that's not peer reviewed and all that stuff yet. So anyway, here we go. This is reported by boldly.news.com, written by an individual named Daniel James. Now, this is about that documentary, The Phenomenon, that's been going around everywhere, right? It's been getting a ton of press from pretty much the entire UFO community, right? Where this is the new hot thing. It's the new hot thing where they're like, yeah. Martin actually linked this on Discord if you guys want to check it out. But I haven't seen it myself. I did suspect it was going to be more of the same, and this guy in this article kind of says it's more of the same. So we'll read some of this and some of the weirdness, right? Some of the weirdness going on with the basically just the UFO community at large. It seems like, okay, now give me a soapbox moment here for a minute. Well, or 3 hours as the case may be, but with the UFO community, it certainly seems like we have like people that are like firmly entrenched that all the things UFO, or not all of them, but like a vast majority of like the UFO information and data is true, right? It's true. There's people that believe emphatically that Roswell was a cover-up and there were alien bodies at Roswell, and I'm not saying that's too far out there, okay? But then you start stacking on all kinds of other weird stuff, right, on top of that. But just because one thing may or may not have been true and there's compelling evidence to suggest it, it doesn't mean everything else UFO related is true. Okay, you follow me on that? It's just kind of and I think that's the battle here. I think that's part of why we included UFOs in the show and why we talk about this stuff, is because it's not as easy as, well, the government covers things up and they're dishonest, and UFOs are definitely a thing, so all the information that comes out about UFOs is real. Okay, I don't think that that's just bad logic in my opinion, and you end up with these weird entrenched camps of all the UFO shit is real, none of the UFO shit is real, everywhere in between, and then they're all infighting with each other and calling each other names and whatever, whatever. Again, as individuals, take the data, take it seriously, make up your own mind. That's how I see it. But I'm just saying. Just because Roswell may be true doesn't make all the rest of these things true. So anyway, on to this phenomenon thing in this article by boldly.news. This is a little bit crazy, right? So let's see. We got actually a couple quick more shout outs here. Hey You says you literally have tears running down my face. right now or back then a year ago with that bad show. Fred says typo here, sweet. Yeah, but again, don't be careless, because other people don't have typo. Let's see, what's up Penny? Penny's got the kung flu. What's up Penny? Everybody follow the Curious Bunny on YouTube. Yeah, get well Penny. Don't worry about staying up with us. Go ahead and if you guys are sick, take care of yourself. That's the most important thing, for sure. If you don't take care of yourself now, there may be no tomorrow. So yeah, right, there it is. Okay, so yes, definitely get better soon. Penny says AB here, which is rare. Yeah, see, there's some stuff. There's some weird stuff going on around with this blood type stuff. So do be careful. Do pay attention. Elizabeth says I have RH negative. Heard weird things. Yeah, that's super rare, isn't it? RH negative. That's the alien DNA, isn't it? That's what they say, right? That's the after my big soapbox speech about that, you can't believe all the things you hear. But RH negative, right? Isn't that the one? Yeah, I think that's the one. That's the one that's super rare. What's up, Derek? Thanks for showing up tonight. Let's see. Joey says, no, stay up. No, stay up. Yeah, stay up. Forget it. Stay up. All right, here we go. Let's read some of this. So again, written by Daniel James. Now I saw this on Twitter. He posted this on Twitter, and he questioned the maker of the film on why it was so steep. It was $20. Here we go. Let's just read part of this article. It says, the phenomenon, a film released on demand worldwide earlier this month, does a solid job of documenting and bringing it to light the story of a grand cover-up spanning decades of covert operations by the U.S. government to hide the truth about our UFO reality. Okay, so he continues, which made it especially awkward when the verified Twitter account for the film direct messaged me on Twitter asking me to delete a question I asked about the price of the film, which was available for $20 US. Now, the price seemed a bit steep compared to other new movie releases. So he put it up on Twitter, said, hey, asked why is it $20? That seems a little, like we can go see Tom Cruise in a $300 million budget movie for, $12, just for comparison's sake. Why is this one, that seemingly probably didn't have a budget of $100 million or so, why is this $20? It's a fair question, don't you think? But then he got a message from the verified Twitter account for the movie here, the phenomenon, asking him to delete the inquiry of why it was such a steep price, right? Okay, so he says, I was already curious about the film after noticing a lot of hype on social media promotion, including Lou Elizondo, we've talked about him a lot, an alleged former director of the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, the ATIP unit, and let's see, now serving as Tom DeLonge's director of special programs at To the Stars Academy, an enterprise itself invested in UFO disclosure and entertainment. Yep, he said it. Elizondo's testimony and stamp of approval to the accuracy of the film set tongues wagging across the Twitterverse. All right, so now Lou Elizondo, right? Everybody knows this. He was the guy that supposedly ran the UFO program inside the Pentagon. All right, so here's his tweet. Number 1, folks, I am normally silent and careful not to endorse products, even if I support them. However, I am making an exception in this case. Although not part of the production, the movie by Jamie Foxx, Phenomenon, I think he means James Fox, Phenomenon, is the one worth watching. It says things I can't. It's accurate. All right, so now Lou is saying that the stuff that popped up in this movie, they're accurate, right? So the UFO guy that worked in the Pentagon is saying that the stuff in here are the things that he can't say, the stuff in the movie, right? So again, I haven't seen it. So if I'm off the rails here, if I'm spurging out and my biases are leaking nasty juice all over everybody, well, that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to point out the fact that it seems to be we're regurgitating the same information over and over in the UFO community, right? It's the same reason that, never mind. Anyway, let's read a little bit more of this. The article continues on boldly.news. If you spend any time browsing #UFO Twitter, do that, and you'll see. I talked about this a little bit last show. One of the first things you might notice about the community is how passionate people are about the UFO subject and their own particular line of belief about what the phenomenon exactly is. For some, the answers are more ethereal, but many believe in a more grounded physical nuts and bolts conclusion. Indeed, stories of crashed flying saucers, recovered alien technology, breakaway civilizations, and men in black are staples of a narrative commonly shared by researchers and ufologists. All right? But if you've read the books, seen the documentaries, been to the conferences, and watched hundreds of YouTube videos from researchers who have built a career on ufology, there's usually one big problem: lack of indisputable evidence of otherworldly claims. Every time I drink Heineken, I get the burps. It's terrible. Let's see. What's up, Ahiga from Texas? Thanks for showing up. Who else am I missing? William, let's see. William says, is this the documentary shared on Discord? Yes, that's the one. That is the one. Martin shared that on Discord. And so, okay, so what do we got time-wise? We're okay. We got some time. Let's just read a little bit through this, because I think it's important to note that we see what's going on here by... so this guy, again, Daniel James, he's a reporter, right? And so he asked the question, it's $20. That's a little steep. What's going on with that? Then they messaged him directly in a private message and asked him to delete the inquiry on why $20 is steep, right? Or why it is $20. Okay, so anyway, blah, blah. So here we go. Which brings me back to that odd message on Twitter. He continues. If I'm going to part ways with $20, I don't want it to be something I've already seen, right? Of course, because you could, if you've... For instance, we're going to talk about the Shag Harbour incident tonight, okay, which was Canada's Roswell, okay? It's probably the most famous UFO crash in Canada. It's got some underwater implications and some other really weird stuff, okay? Some government cover-ups for sure. And so this type of stuff is kind of, it becomes part of the public domain, right? Like you get these stories out there, they get regurgitated, they get rehashed, they get told 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 times, and it's the same old stuff, all right? And so like you said, I don't want to spend $20 if it's all the same shit I've already seen, right? Well, I don't blame the dude. So then he says, the Phenomenon official Twitter account messaged me saying that since I was a journalist and they were a big fan of my work, they would send me a screening link free of charge. All right, that's cool, right? So they're going to send him a screening link. He's like, all right, cool. So given the hype, I thought it would be well worth my time and accepted the offer and asked for further clarification on why the price was so high. A day later, no link had come my way, but I was advised that they hadn't had any other complaints about the price. In fact, many had said it's the best spent money this month. All right. He says, now I'm really ready to watch the film. But where was the screener? Well, I was informed it would be sent if I deleted my negative comment about the film. Oh, I see. Okay, so he asked why it was so expensive, $20, right, for the cost of a film. And they said they didn't like it. They said, we'll send you a screener. And then he didn't get it. And then he's like, where's my shit? And they're like, oh, well, we'll send it to you if you delete the comment. Oh, I see. He says, what? Negative comment? Is it a new phenomenon for journalists to ask questions? Now I was really curious about this movie. Why was this film this concerned about one comment that could be seen as negative on social media? Why are so many key people pushing this documentary so hard? And how did this film come to exist in the first place? Right. Okay. So this goes on, and this is a really great read. I linked it. I'll link it again if you guys want to check it out. But basically, right. So when we're selling a product, right, it's marketing, and when you're marketing, right, then you don't want any negative press. And then for negative press to go away, what do? You buy it away, right? In this case, just a free link that never got sent. So anyway, he goes on to say in this article, and let's see if I can find a good spot here to pick out. But he goes on to say that let's see, blah blah blah. Blah, blah, blah. So the film started out, okay, he explains how some of the film was, it was kind of made with some guy going to the hospital and some other problems and blah, like many things, there's problems. There's always problems. People, when they make things, there's problems, right? So, okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, so this guy went to the hospital, then they made it without him, and then he came out and said, what the hell? And they didn't want anything to do with him, but he didn't want it to be a rehashed bullshit, and it is. It turns out it's another rehashed bunch of BS, according to this guy. Okay, so when you hear the story about Kenneth Arnold's sighting in 1947, the first reported post-war sighting in the U.S., which was immediately followed by a string of similar cases and alleged UFO activity across the skies. As the film goes through these early cases, it is well supported by early interviews from first-hand sources and, in some cases, family members years later. By the time we hear about Gordon Cooper's 1951 sighting, the narrator, Peter Coyote, hints that the wave of sightings are in fact an otherworldly power on its own mysterious mission. We are taken further along the ufology timeline with events such as UFO sightings over missile installations in the U.S. and the U.K., the end of the Cold War, large-scale sighting events such as the Washington flyover, the Phoenix Lights, as well as the Westall and Ariel school events in Australia and Zimbabwe, respectively. Right? Again, we've all heard of these things. These are things that we will talk about eventually on this show if we have not already. Because, again, it's kind of in the zeitgeist, right? It's in the UFO zeitgeist. And this is really what this is kind of about, isn't it? So if you're putting out new information and charging people for it directly, and it's, I don't know. Anyway, so he just goes on to say that, hey, this is a bunch of the same old shit that we've been told forever. There's nothing new here. There's no new answers, and there's no new anything. And this is exactly what I didn't want to do. He spent the $20 anyway because he didn't like to be bought off, even if it was a stupid screener link to delete some negative press. So, good on the guy. I mean, it's only 20 freaking bucks for crying out loud, right? But come on. They expect negative comments to be deleted for a screener link. Okay. Anyway, has anybody seen this? It's new. It's the talk of the town. Everybody's talking about the phenomenon. It was very well hyped beforehand. It came out, and then people are like, yeah, woo, it's the thing. I don't know. I just don't know. If you guys have seen this and you want to correct me and you want to, whatever. Like if you have thoughts on this and you think this guy's off base, you think if I'm off base, it's fine. It's okay. We can agree or disagree and still be friends. But here we go. Millie, what's up? I was just thinking about you tonight. Literally, I saw a comment you had left on. I was actually digging through the Facebook page to find the UFO video that vanished on me, by the way, and I saw Millie in there, and I was like, I haven't heard from Millie in a long time. And then bam, there's Millie. What's up? Thanks for showing up tonight. Joe says, Joe from Florida, this is how a fanatic reacts to criticism. Most of us probably already know what's on that film. Probably another rehash and money grab. And I think that's a little bit right. Like I said, we've had a ton of like actual new information on this show. Not probably not enough to like say, oh, we're investigative journalists, but with the power of all of us getting together and the phone calls and the transparency, and like you end up with a lot more good information from people that we've had people call in that their grandfather worked on nuclear like or the Saturn II rockets with Werner von Braun and stuff like this, like we've had people actually call in and say, hey, yeah, like we have some relevant information here. So I don't know. I think this is part of the problem that we end up with. Exactly. It's the same thing over and over again. Right. So we have, just like tonight, again, if any of you out there are unsatisfied with this show tonight, okay, or any show we've ever done in the future or the past, okay, we're time traveling now, you get a full refund. Okay. A full refund. Your money is guaranteed with this show. Okay, you see what I'm saying here? That's what I'm saying here, right? That's my point. So, this is not created by Tom DeLonge. This is not. So there's some of the same characters working with them. I think Eric Davis or Hal Puthoff or anyway. It's the same shit over and over again. It's the same shit. It's just the same shit. Mateo, what's up, says $20 to cover Coyote. Yeah, maybe. Derek says brainwash society is calling critical thinking people crazy. Mainstream media is brainwashing 24/7. Yeah, I mean, again, this is what I'm saying though. So it's like just because you're like, yeah, counterculture, baby, it doesn't mean all the countercultural shit is real. Okay, I can't say it. Counterculture shit is real. You see what I'm saying? It's just, again, people that think for themselves, independent thinkers, are naturally always going to be suspicious because you just never know. Name of the film, Millie, is the Phenomenon, and it just came out. It was just released recently, and yeah, there we go. Eric says refund. He wants a refund. All right, there you go. I've sent it PayPal, Eric. You've got all the money back for all the money you've spent for watching these shows. So there you go. Now we're broke together. Okay, but you get it, right? The point is that marketing, right? The point is that rehashing the same type of shit over and over again is what is it? Like, we're not getting anywhere. Again, To the Stars Academy, 3 videos in 3 years now. Right, and not only that, some of those were leaked prior to them, so it's just. But again, right, like if you go in the UFO community, go to UFO Twitter and talk badly about Lou Elizondo, they will come after you. They will tell you don't know what you're talking about, right? Okay, I'll save that one for later. I actually had a pretty good thought about Lou Elizondo and the rest of that. So anyway, just wanted to point this out. I haven't seen the movie, so it's not fair of me to be critical. I'm saying that this individual, Daniel James, watched it, paid the money, wrote an article about it, and he wasn't impressed. He said it was a bunch of recycled shit. Very much, in my opinion, recycled shit, just like To the Stars Academy when they did their History Channel show, Unidentified Season 1 and Season 2. It's the same shit over and over. So anyway, just pointing that out. Just again, if you guys have seen this and you want to correct the record and say no, there was some really good shit in there, you missed it. It could be, right? Like, again, we could all be wrong, including this individual. I'm just reading his article and his opinion on this, and that's that. So if you guys have comments on this, you've seen the show, you don't care or whatever, all good. I want to hear from you, and regardless of how you feel about it. We do the show because we want to include you. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, and what do you think about it? What do you think about the phenomenon? And do you think there's some merit to what this guy's saying, or do you think he's way off and he missed a bunch of important details that only a UFO enthusiast could actually pick out. So you know what I mean? There's definitely a chance. Hey you, all the Frank jokes. Okay, let's see. So anyway, there we go. Phone number's up, and let's see. What do we got? Reading some of this. I'm not really good with type O bloods and stuff, so I can't comment on a bunch of this. Let's see. Eddie says, as far as I heard, no wreckage was ever recovered from Shag Harbour. I think it classifies more as a USO sighting as opposed to a UFO crash. We'll find out. We'll talk about that a little bit. Let's see. Who else do we got? We got, let's see. Yeah. Dear Lord. All right. Let's keep moving here. The point is that you just be on your guard. Always be on your guard, guys. Somebody's always selling you something, right? Just like me. If you guys visit the Trouble Minds shop, there's you could buy logo merchandise and stuff, But hey, I'm not going to make you buy a documentary. Just buy the T-shirt. Here we go. Mayor of LA says this. Now this is pretty funny. Well, let's say sad. Twitter. Mayor of LA says, this Halloween, we are finding ways to celebrate safely. We miss our traditions, but we must continue to protect our families. Large gatherings or parties, even outdoors, are not permitted. Trick-or-treating is not recommended. Please celebrate at home or virtually. There you go. The Mayor of LA. What's up? And I think the best part of this entire thing, clearly I see it and I go, really? Come on. Now so I'm already seeing on CNN they're talking about canceling Thanksgiving, right? Like, okay, so Halloween is hereby canceled. Thanksgiving is about to be canceled. Then what? Then Christmas is about to be canceled, right? And they're going to tell us it's just this year, guys. It's just this year, right? It's just this year. So, hold off. You may infect your family members, and that's true. All that's true, right? Hold off, but it's not going to be next year. This is just a one-time thing, right? Just like they keep telling us. We're only going to shut down the government for this long, or you only have to wear masks for that long, or this other thing. And then they keep changing their mind every other day, every other week. And so, yeah. But the most funny part about this, the first comment on just underneath this on Twitter is from the LA Tenants Union. And it says, cancel rent, you fucking oligarch clown. If that doesn't make you laugh, I don't know what will. Cancel rent, you fucking oligarch clown. Talking to the mayor of LA. Yeah, there you go. There's social media for you. Okay, so let's see. Millie says, I watched Tom's show on History Channel and was disappointed. Same old info. I just feel about the same way with Ancient Aliens now as well. Nothing new. Yeah, I mean, once that stuff comes out, it ends up being old hat, right? We're just talking about old hat. If you want old hat, come listen to Trouble Minds, and we won't charge you for it. Joey says, pass the candy to the kids with slingshots. There you go. Make sure it's chewable. No, nothing hard. No hard candy. That's bad. Okay. Anyway, you guys get the point. Here we go. Now this continues. Not that tweet, because that tweet was self-encapsulated. Halloween is hereby canceled in Los Angeles, by the way. So there you go. Now you know. And they're coming for Thanksgiving, and then they're coming for Christmas. I'm calling it now. No shit, right? Like, no shit, Mike. But yeah, this is what's going to happen. All right. Now this is reported by Popular Mechanics, another fine source of journalism. And let's see. Before I read this, Joe says, crap. Joe says, I clicked the wrong thing. Joe says, I'm just curious, how are the Chinese doing? The media only shows our problems, but for perspective, we don't often hear the truth from other countries. As far as I'm aware, the Chinese economy is kicking back in gear, and they've, as far as I'm aware, they've kind of recovered quite a lot. Yeah, what's up there? I see you in all your spam on Twitch. What's up, spammy Twitch spam? Let's see. Yeah, you're a new hat. I'm a new hat, says Eddie. All right. I can be a new hat. I can be whatever. Like, I'm not going to like go, let's say I'm not going to lose any sleep if, you want to call me whatever you want to call me. Call me whatever you want to call me. It's fine. I don't really care. I just don't really care. All right, here we go. Derek, family gatherings are banned, but how come Walmart never closed? Yeah. Hey, it's necessity, man. It's an essential thing, right? That's not only that. So then, here in Nevada, they banned They banned sports, like, for school sports and, extracurricular type sports, contact sports. I think you can still play tennis and things like this, where it's not like a contact thing and you're not like next to each other and all this, sweating on each other or whatever. So I'm, again, there's a park right by the house. I'm driving down to go wherever, do whatever, to go to Walmart, of course, because it's essential. And, because, they have some things to buy that, are essential. I was trying to get a good joke. I didn't have one. Sometimes you just got no jokes. But okay. And so I passed by, and there's a ton of kids. They're out there, like, they're playing football, like full pad football, tackle football, right? It's like, well, wait, what? like this is not stopped. Like, the governor said it has to stop. The governor of Nevada has said it has to stop. And then, okay, you guys keep spamming on Twitch. I'm going to ban all y'all. I'm going to ban all y'all. No, I don't want to be famous. Fuck off. All right. So, here we go. They're still sweating on each other, right? Even though the governor's banned it. So I wonder at what point the cops are going to come down and put their boots on the necks of kids playing football, right? That's kind of what I'm wondering about. It's been mandated that they can't do it. They're out there doing it. Let's see what happens. Anyway, okay, this is reported by the Popular Mechanics. Another great piece of journalism. Here's the headline: Trump acknowledges UFOs, threatens aliens with military action. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, how about that? So regarding that headline, we talk about the poor journalism and terrible headlines and clickbait and garbage writing. And, well, hey. Yeah. Did anybody actually see this? Let's see. Trump acknowledges UFOs, threatens aliens with military action. Yeah, no, I got you. I got you, Eddie. New hat. I got you. I don't even know what it means, so compliment is nice. Thank you. All right, here we go. So earlier this week, Fox News anchor Maria Bartiromo asked President Donald Trump about the Pentagon's new UFO task force. Trump promised to look into the government's UFO program. The president also answered with a vague, somewhat threatening speech about the power of the U.S. military. All right, so notice there's the subheadlines right there. All right, that's what it says, and so that's probably a more honest assessment of what this article is about. But if you go to the top, Trump acknowledges UFOs, threatens aliens with military action. Okay, did he say that? Did he do that? Of course he didn't. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Here we go. In an interview on Sunday, Fox News' Maria asked Trump, "Can you explain why the Department of Defense has set up a UFO task force? Are there UFOs?" He says, "Well, I'm going to have to check that out," Trump replied. "I mean, I've heard that. I heard that 2 days ago, so I'll check on that. I'll take a good, strong look at that." That sounds like something Trump would say, right? He then went on to talk about the U.S. military. "I will tell you this. We have now created a military, the likes of which we have never had before in terms of equipment, the equipment we have, the weapons we have, and hope to God we never have to use it, but have created a military the likes of which nobody has ever had. Russia, China, they're all envious of what we had, all built in the USA. We've rebuilt it all, $2.5 trillion. As for the other question, I'll check on it. I heard about it 2 days ago, actually." All right. So where in that quote did he threaten the aliens? Does anybody want to tell me? Okay, fuck off, Popular Mechanics. Let's go to this next one. All right, let's go to this next one. Did you guys hear about the rest of this? And all right, let's see. I have to allow ads to listen
Twitter
to
and
watch
Facebook
Fox News.
to testify after they blocked users from sharing stories.
Oh yeah, all right. We got Dana Perino here talking about this. I don't know who she is because I see her from time to time in the day, like about 11 p.m. or a.m. or so. But okay. So let's watch this. She's talking about this. Now, there's this big to-do over Twitter. You guys heard this like Biden stuff and then censorship. No, I don't want to watch this shit. I just don't want to watch it. It's going to give me a headache. Okay. The Senate committee has called the leaders of Facebook, Twitter, and Google to testify Wednesday amid outrage over censorship of articles damaging to former Vice President Joe Biden. Did you guys hear about all this? Okay. Now hold tight. If you think we're going all right wing, I'm going to poke some holes in this story in just a sec. The chair of the committee, Senator Roger Wicker, a Republican from Mississippi, announced the hearing will examine whether big tech should be afforded liability protections under Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, or whether the federal shield has outlived its usefulness in today's digital age. And yes, they are hiding behind it. We've talked about Section 230 quite a bit, and this is a little bit ugly what's going on right now. It's again, election year drama. It's a bunch of garbage, right? It's a whole bunch of garbage, and Yeah. Anyway, so if you guys heard anything about this Biden thing that was going around, we got not Bo Biden, Hunter Biden, and all the drama, right? Apparently, he left his laptop with some repair person who, and then never came to pick it up. And then the repair person, anyway, here we go. Here we go. I've got a tweet and summing this up perfectly. Now, I heard this story first, right? That they did censor. They censored the shit out of this, and they said they did it because they had people's email addresses published in the story itself, right? That's why Twitter said they censored it, okay? Because they were doxing people. But here we go. Now, this is a thread from Twitter, and this explains this story in a nutshell. Yes. What's up, Laura? I did get the pictures. Can we do? I'll send you an email, but can we plan on next Friday? On Tuesday, we have. We're going to do Best Damn Podcast. They're going to be here with us Tuesday for that show, and then can we do Friday for your pictures? I'll send you an email, and if that's cool, we'll set it up for then. Okay, so here we go. Now this is from. What's up, Sherry? Thanks for showing up. We have bullets now. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see. Derek says they want to shut down small businesses, is what I'm saying. Just as I would call him, but I can't put my crack pipe down. Let's see. Any news merchandise out yet, Mike? No new merchandise. Not yet. Not quite yet. I'll let you know when stuff hits the store. Okay, here we go. Check this out. Now this is how the story goes, and this guy's got it right. This is from Dan Sloan, and I don't know who he is. I just saw this got retweeted the shit out of, and it's kind of right. So given this Hunter Biden story, here it goes. So just so I follow this story, Hunter Biden, who lives in Los Angeles, decides to fly 3,000 miles across the country to drop off 3 MacBook Pros at a repair shop run by a blind guy who charges the insanely low price of $85. He gets off the plane and drunk drives to the repair shop. There you go. It's funny in and of itself, all the things they're saying about Hunter Biden. It continues. Because there aren't enough repair shops in LA, apparently. He drops them off, signs a contract for repair, and then disappears. The repair shop owner recovers and reads Hunter's private emails, a few of which mention a possible meeting with his dad, and he's so alarmed he contacts the FBI, the repair shop owner. The FBI arranges to pick up the hard drives, but the computer repair shop owner takes a totally normal step of copying them. Once he realizes the FBI isn't doing anything with them, he calls up the most credible ex-mayor on earth and hands them over the contents of these drives, which would be Mayor Rudy Giuliani. That totally credible ex-mayor sits on them for months, then chooses to release them 3 weeks before the election. The mainstream media asks to independently verify their validity, but said ex-mayor does what all people trying to prove facts does and ignore these requests. And that's kind of in the nutshell. Like I was talking to Mrs. Strange about this when this story hit, and I was like, does that seem strange to you that Hunter Biden would actually be taking his own personal laptops, which probably have some form of sensitive data on them one way or the other, to a random repair shop and then not ever pick them up? Like, there's just something so bizarre about the story, right? So again, politics guys, be very, very careful about what the hell's going on and what they're trying to tell you. There's something weird with this. I'm telling you what, there's something weird with this. Let's see. Let's see. Nice. Sweet. Thanks, guys. Penny says, when I'm better, I'll be streaming in your t-shirt. Thank you. Appreciate that. If you guys like the logo that's up on the screen, troubleminds.org, click the store on top. I think it's a store or shop or whatever. You can buy a shirt or whatever. There we go. Thanks for buying this stuff, guys. I appreciate it a lot. It does help the show. It does help us what we're doing here. And eventually, if we get some other stuff or whatever, like I said, I can do more shows per week, and that's really kind of the goal. I always wanted to do 5 nights a week. I wanted to be that guy, right? But it's just a lot of damn work. It's a lot of damn work. All right. Joe says it's a soap opera. Every episode is a cliffhanger. Yeah, and that's exactly right. So anyway, just heads up on whatever the hell's going on with that. I'm not trying to get political about this and the rest of this, and and telling you what to believe and not what not to believe. Okay, so there we go. We shit on the Hunter Biden story. So we're gonna go shit on the opposite now, and we're gonna see what Dan Rather has to say. Everybody remembers Dan Rather. He was the face of news for how many years? How many years? Eric says, I need a bumper sticker. Yep, we can get those set up too. I'll look into getting those done. Dan Rather tweeted this, and this is regarding Amy Coney Barrett, right? The Supreme Court nominee and the drama that's going on with it. He says this: if you want to be an originalist in law, maybe you should go all the way. Cooking on a hearth, leeches for medicine, and an old mule for transportation. Or maybe you can recognize that the world changes. Dan Rather, go away, please. Go back to where you came from, because you couldn't be more wrong than anything. Because that exact same argument that he's making, right, where it may seem legitimate on its face, is completely bullshit lies. And I'll tell you why. Because that's like saying that Aristotle and his, what would you say, his all the things he wrote on humans and law and right, his actual like philosophy that still stands today is null and void because we drive cars now instead of Now it's bullshit. It's bullshit because it's deeper than that. So fuck off, Dan Rather. So there you go. So I shit on one, I shit on the other. Okay, let's keep going. Speaking of social media, look at this. New York Post reports this. And I saw this just a little while ago and was like, what the, get this shit out of here. And I was like, wait a minute. October 15th reported this. New York Post. No, Saved by the Bell star Dustin Diamond did not die in prison riot. Okay, so I'm a little old for this show. It's the Saved by the Bell, right? This character was named Screech on the show. That's all I know, right? So here we go. On Wednesday, social media users shared a screenshot of a story appearing to report that Saved by the Bell star Dustin Diamond died in a prison riot at age 43. All right? Well, it's not true. Fortunately, nostalgic sitcom fans can rest easy as the piece appears to be satire. All right, there it is, right? So people start hashtagging this shit. They're rest in peace and all this other... Fuck, people. Like, this is why we can't have nice things, right? Just let it go. Let it go. Stop saying people are dead on Twitter, please, when they're not. Please stop. It's stupid. It's not, like, satire, fine. But fuck, stop. Just stop it. Just stop this stuff. All right, here we go. Now, this continues. Let us continue, shall we? Let us keep moving. I'm a little agitated tonight because I thought we were going to have to cancel on my audio took a shit just before the show again. So I'm a little agitated, so if you can sense it, you are correct. Here we go. They're reported by News5Cleveland.com. This is amazing. Bay Village priest says someone called police about a homeless person, but it was just a statue of Jesus. What do you know? So this is the world we live in, guys. We're picking up the phone and we're calling the cops on Jesus. Yeah. I tell you what. Let's see. Okay. A priest in Bay Village says someone called police to report a homeless person. Turns out it was actually a statue of Jesus. Blah, 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 blah. So that we're glad to temporarily host a statue of homeless Jesus to raise awareness of homelessness in Cleveland and remind us that all people are created in the image of God. And so within 20 minutes of the statue arriving, the police had arrived to arrest the statue of Jesus. The sculpture was created by Timothy Schmaltz and depicts a man wrapped in a blanket and lying on a bench. Within 20 minutes, the sculpture had been installed at St. Barnabas Episcopal Church. Police were called, according to Alex Martin, the pastor at St. Barnabas. He tweeted that he spoke with an officer because someone reported a homeless person sleeping on a park bench. Yeah. Is this the world we live in, guys? Isn't it? Isn't it? That's the world we live in. Okay, anyway, comments on any of this shit. I'm off the rails, so somebody save me from myself. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. If you want to be part of the show, you know what to do. This is a Las Vegas area code. Discord is free, so if you have an internet connection and you can join Discord, then yes, let's do that. Let's do whatever you want to do. What's up, Joe says, but someone took the nails out and kicked him off the bench. Rude, bro. We're calling the what you call it? Calling the cops on Jesus, right? Just too good. It's just too good. It's just too good. Like how is that a possible thing? That's what we're doing though. It's that's what we're doing. Maybe they shouldn't have made it look so realistic. Boy. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Eddie says he didn't die. Screech was the last man standing. I have no idea what that means. Again, I didn't watch it. The only reason I know who Screech is because I saw like 5 minutes of that show because that one girl was hot way back when. And she was probably too young for me to say that. So you'll excuse me. I was very young as well. So there you go. Okay, so Let's see. Joe says recovering Catholic here. Got it. Yep. Got it. Come on. Blasphemy though, bro. COVID is causing so much tension. People are losing it. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Spiral, what's up? Let's get that bum out of here. What is that? Spiral? Is that the Spiral I know? What's up, Spiral on Twitch? I see you there. Okay. So yeah. You get the bum out of here. All right, so let's keep on moving here. Again, if you guys want to be part of the show, we're talking about all kinds of conspiracy news, and I'm a little bit triggered tonight. I can say it. I just am. I don't know why. I think I probably haven't finished one beer yet. That's probably why. I need one to chill out. Just finish one and chill out, Mike. Okay, so here we go. Give us a call, 702-957-1037. Join the Discord at troubledminds.org. We're talking about conspiracy news. We're going to talk about UFOs in about 30 minutes or so, and Shag Harbour, and that's the incident that happened in Canada with some underwater situation type things. So we're taking calls the entire show, so if you guys want to be part of it, that's what you do. All right, let's keep on trucking. More conspiracy news. Check this out. From phys.org. Headline is this: Climate change likely drove early human species to extinction. Modeling study suggests. Okay. All right. Just let that sit out there. All right. So explain to me this. Early human species were forced to be extinct by climate change. So which Neanderthals were driving big rigs, putting CO2 into the air? Were they or were they not net carbon zero back then? You see what I'm saying? It seems like, once again, it's the upside down, is it not? All right, so as a result of this goes way back, doesn't it? It goes way back because climate always changes, and that's the point. Of the 6 or more different species of early humans, all belonging to the genus Homo, only we Homo sapiens have managed to survive. Now, a study report in the journal One Earth on October 15th, combining climate modeling and the fossil record in search of clues to what led all those earlier extinctions of our ancient ancestors, suggests that climate change, I can't even speak tonight, the inability to adapt to either warming or cooling temperatures likely played a major role in sealing their fate. All right, so basically, given that premise, that the only way we're safe is if things stay exactly as they are, right? Climate-wise. I don't know, maybe I'm adding too much common sense to the paradigm here. But explain to me, so if it gets warmer or it gets cooler, we're in big trouble. So we're exactly Goldilocks, exactly where we're at. Yeah. William says, if early humans were extinct, then what are we then? Yeah. I mean, again, this is its own study, okay? It's not linked to the greater climate change crisis that they're always trying to tell us is a thing, right? But if you do read the rest of this, and I recommend you do, because a lot of this information is, science, science, and it's good to see what they're trying to say. Like everything, when you read propaganda, you're trying to find out what they want you to believe, right? So to me, this kind of undermines their argument. But if you go to the very bottom of this, they think it actually adds to their argument. Let's see. Let me read what it says. Very last sentence. Climate change made Homo vulnerable and hapless in the past, and this may just be happening again. Okay, but I tell you what. What's up, follow suspicious observers for real climate change news backed by real science, not from the 1960s. What's up, hey you? How you doing? Yeah, I know. Mateo says Neanderthals were very gassy. It was their own fault. And this is exactly why we can't have nice things, guys. This is exactly why politicians are full of shit, and they try and tell us a bunch of crap that really doesn't make any sense because they're trying to push an agenda. And again, I'm not an anti-conservationalist. I think we should respect and revere the world we live on. We shouldn't turn it into a cesspool of garbage and piss and shit and set things on fire for no apparent reason. No, I don't think we should do any of those things. However, and if you get like this one political narrative that there's a scientific consensus of 99 scientists out of 100 the world over. What about this guy? This guy didn't get the memo, or this report would have been buried, right? Yeah, those gassy Neanderthals. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Anyway, 702-957-1037. Let's see. I kind of feel like I don't know. I just feel like this hasn't been that good tonight, but what can you do? What can you do? So like I said, some nights are better than others. Here we go. We got theguardian.com. If climate change doesn't scare you, maybe this will. It's not my job to scare you, but here we go. Let's play this, or let's read this, and then we'll keep on moving. We'll get to Shag Harbour in the second half here, coming up in about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes. Okay, we got here we go. Reported by The Guardian. Yeah, The Guardian, one of the best. Machines set loose to slaughter. The dangerous rise of military AI. Autonomous machines capable of deadly forces are increasingly prevalent in modern warfare, despite numerous ethical concerns. Is there anything we can do to halt the advance of the killer robots? And here it is. Wow. Frank Pasquale. Whatever. Yeah. And they're actually referencing that video, Slaughterbots. You guys remember Slaughterbots? Yeah, that's what they're talking about here. So they're writing an article about Slaughterbots and, existential threat to humanity, and they're putting big words in it, and some media spunk behind it, trying to say hey, and some scratch media money behind it, and they're trying to say hey, there's a problem here, right? But of course, the mainstream doesn't pick it up. This ends up in the back pages of whatever the F it ends up in, passed around Twitter for a hot minute, and then it's gone. This shit is gone. Nobody cares, right? Nobody cares. You know why? Because this is the biggest election of your life. Do you not know this? Do you not know this? Biggest election of your life, guys. Have you not been told that enough? I think maybe that's it. I think maybe all this political garbage has triggered me, and I've been trying really hard to avoid the television set. I just don't turn it on. I put on the baseball game. Speaking of baseball, does anybody hate the Astros more than I do? Holy shit, these guys, they won't go away. These cheating bastards will not go away. Yeah, Penny says The Guardian is worse than The Sun. Yeah, okay, I believe you there. I totally believe you there. Okay, let's see. What else do we got? There's some other good stuff here. I got some. I pulled up some political shit to truly trigger the shit out of you guys, but I'm not going to do that. That's just cruel, like cruel and unusual. Let's see. Oh, check this one out. This is unbelievable. I can't believe this. Like how this dude's just allowed to run around and say this. Okay, so I was watching, like I said, I've been trying to very much avoid watching political garbage. Just, I'll turn on this and that for just a couple minutes and, walk away because I just can't do it. But I turned on Alison Camerota the other day. She does a New Day with CNN, okay? And, she's fine in and of herself, but she's a propagandist and she worked for CNN. So what do you expect, right? But I couldn't believe it. There's something changing here. I could not believe it because she went after Governor Cuomo, right? Like Andrew Cuomo, which is Chris Cuomo's brother, is the other CNN guy who she used to work with on New Day, if you guys follow that drama. But she was going after the dude. And this is something I've seen recently, and I don't know what's changing. But people on CNN are actually going after Democrats. And that hasn't been the case for a very long time. I rarely see it, and it's usually an accident, and they usually shut it down really fast. But so I saw Cuomo on there, and she was asking him, so who gave the order to send those people to the nursing homes where, it's infamously a bunch of people died in New York State and on, right? And he said they never had, the hospitals were never overloaded, and he said that the virus never came from China, it came from Europe, and he was just flat out lying about all this stuff. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, how is he allowed to get away with this? And she didn't let him. Like, she jumped on his ass and told him. Like, anyway. So I was like, where did this come? Has anybody ever heard of this? The virus didn't come from China. It came from Europe. Listen to this guy. Now, this is a little bit of an older clip, but I guess he's been saying it for a while. This is from May 29th. Listen to what this clown has to say. This is real quick.
Well, Brian, you're right. New York City was the epicenter. New York State has had more cases than any state in this country, more cases than many countries on the globe. And remember what happened to New York when they write the history books. We were all told about the China virus, This virus came from Europe. We were all looking west, and the virus came from the east. Nobody talked about the virus coming from Europe. We had 3 million flights of people coming from Europe, January, February, March, and that's where the virus came from. And then it spread, obviously, once it hit New York. So we were totally blindsided.
Okay, so he was saying that it didn't come from China. It came from Europe. It came from Italy. That's where they got it in New York. Okay, so what happens when you trace it back before Italy? Where did it come from then? I don't know. Has anybody heard this before? Has anybody heard this before? Yeah. It came from Europe. It didn't come from China. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, but there's another one. There's another one going around. And again, this is something changing. Something's changing. Because did anybody see Wolf Blitzer on CNN go after Nancy Pelosi? Did anybody see this? Did anybody see? It's like a full 13 minutes of glorious WTF. It's like the upside down has gone upside down again. And we have a propagandist who does nothing but throw softballs to the leader of the House, the Democrats in the House, Nancy Pelosi. He is going after her. And he is not only going, okay, I think we have to, okay. I'm not trying to trigger you. Fuck it. I'm trying to trigger you. Let's do it. We're playing this. You know why? Because I've got beers in the freezer and they might explode. I'll be right back. But watch this. All right. So we got, this is Wolf. We're just going to play a little bit of this. I'm not going to play all 13 minutes. But just watch what he's saying to her. And watch how she gradually, I'm going to link this in case you guys want to watch it in its entirety. I'm telling you, it is amazing. This is amazing. I was cheering by the end. I couldn't believe it. Fred says I hate the Dodgers more. As an A's fan, I have to agree the Dodgers suck too. I can't stand the Dodgers. But the Houston Astros, go away already. All right, here we go. I'm going to play this, grab the freezers, beer out of the freezers. See, I can't even speak. And just watch a minute or two and watch what he's saying to her and how agitated she gets. And then when I get back, I'll skip to the end. Be right back.
Americans who are being evicted from their homes, they can't pay the rent. Many Americans are waiting in food lines for the first time in their lives. Can you look them in the eye, Madam Speaker, and explain why you don't want to accept the president's latest stimulus offer?
Well, because, thank you very much, Wolf, and I hope you'll ask the same question of the Republicans about why they don't really want to meet the needs of the American people. But let me say to those people, because all of my colleagues, we represent these people. I have for over 30 years represented my constituents. I know what their needs are. I listen to them, and their needs are not addressed in the president's proposal. So when you say to me, why don't you accept theirs? Why don't they accept ours?
Okay, I'm back. All right, so I'm not trying to entirely trigger you. All right, so anyway, you see how agitated she gets. Like, no, they're not right. We're right. Look what she does at the end. I'm going to skip right to the end of this. It is a glorious 13 minutes. And look at the shit-eating grin on Wolf Blitzer's face right there. This is so good. All right, now I'm telling you, there's something up. Why is CNN suddenly going after prominent Democrats? Something's up. I'm telling you. Look, when something changes or happens really fast and you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming, think back to what I was saying tonight. There's something changing and I don't know what it is. So here we go. Just real fast, the end of this. It's hilarious. Action.
Incredibly difficult times right now, and we'll leave it on that note. Thank you so much for joining
we'll
us.
Leave it on the vote that you are not right on this, Wolf, and I hate to say that to you. But I feel confident about it, and I feel confident about my colleagues, and I feel confident in my chairs.
And it's not about me. It's about millions of Americans who can't put food on the table, who can't pay the rent,
and
who are
we
having
represent
trouble,
them,
who
and we
are
represent them,
getting
and
by
we represent
these
them,
long food
and
lines
we represent
that we're seeing.
them.
I know
we
you
know
are.
them.
I'm just saying.
We represent them, and we know them.
As we say,
know them. We represent them.
Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good, as they say here in Washington.
It is nowhere near perfect.
Madam Speaker.
Always the case, but we're not even close to the good.
All right, let's see what happens, because every day is critically important.
I'm telling you, if you can't watch that and be amused, maybe you're dead inside. This is what we need to see more of. Like, put it to her. Don't let her get an easy pass. Yes, no, you are full of shit. You have known since the beginning of this year how terrible this thing is, and you've managed one measly, pathetic payment of $1,200. And people are out there starving. They have lost their jobs. Many have lost homes, cannot afford to rent, and these eviction moratoriums are coming up. Okay? Now, there's real shit going on out there. And she's shit-eating, grinning, and no, we know them, and we're right. And No, fuck off, lady. All of you politicians. She's a perfect example because she's one of the slimiest. But so is Mitch McConnell. Again, don't catch me trying to lean left or right. But they're all full of shit. They are all full of shit. But again, something's weird here. When you get a lefty propagandist hammering a lefty politician. It's weird. There's something up. There's something up. There's something up. But yeah, anyway, like I said, I'm not trying to totally trigger you guys. So if you've all run off now and I'm talking to myself, I completely understand. But okay, let's go to some other interesting news here. How about this? Let's go to censorship. More by The Guardian. And yes, this is too good. This is too good. I'm telling you, there's something afoot here. There's something going on because some behind the scenes, when they change like that, like on a dime, maybe polling or something made them realize that they can't just do softballs and let these people off the hook all the time. Okay, so here we go. We got the reported by The Guardian. China insists Genghis Khan exhibit not use the words Genghis Khan. I'm telling you. Yeah, all right. The Guardian. Museum in Nantes pulls show after intervention by Beijing, which comes as Communist Party hardens discrimination against ethnic Mongols. Oh, is that what that is? It's discrimination against ethnic Mongols? Not that Genghis Khan kicked their ass 6 days from Sunday? I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It says register for free and continue reading. Nah, y'all can fuck off. I'm not going to do that. But anyway, it just funny, right? So we can put up a Genghis Khan tribute, but we can't use the name Genghis Khan. Okay, all right. Let's see. Sherry, what's up? One of her kind is asking Lizard Lady to step down. Yeah, that could be talking about Pelosi. Joe says 30 years does nothing. Put them all in a fucking nursing home. Yeah, worse than that. Put them in a gulag. That's where they want to put us. Joe says they never answer the question. I did that to my boss this week, and he kept dodging. Yeah, right. You don't have to answer. Millie, what's up? Says this whole thing is a shit show. I do my best not to see or watch this garbage. Both sides have the same agenda. They are in cahoots, in my opinion. That's absolutely true. Okay. So, some of you guys are still here, so thanks for hanging. I'm triggered. I'm telling you. I'm as we get closer and closer to the election, the seams are coming apart. Let's see. Hey guys says, however, Queen Pelosi does not care. She is happy to see Americans suffer as long as she does not let Trump claim a win. And I think that's completely true. As terrible as that is, I think that's completely true. Like it's just the petty politics these people play, and they could give a shit about you, about me, about anybody. They just want to win, right? They want to win, and they don't care how it happens. But lefty propagandists going after lefty politicians is new. I'm telling you guys, it's rare. And not only that, it was not even a like a quick segment, like I always say, how they kind of put them in before the commercial and they let them dodge and then they squeak out and go, oh, sorry, we're out of time. We have to let you go. Right. So they never have to answer a hard question. This was a solid 13 minutes of uncomfortable, whatever the F was going on with them. So she just kept telling Wolf Blitzer, he was a Republican apologist, Yeah, it's cool. Go to bed, guys. I know. I'm a little off the rails tonight, so it's fine. You all forgive me, I'm sure. And if you don't, well, I would forgive you. So here we go. Let's see. What else do we got? Yeah, Millie's spot on. Agreed 100%. Okay. So we're going to talk about Shag Harbour in just a minute here, and how that kind of went down, and some of the facts, and hear from some of the witnesses in the case that have kind of been, again, stories regurgitated over and over and over again on YouTube and everywhere else. So, and that's not a bad thing, right? They kind of need to get out there. Some of the more compelling evidence needs to get out, and I think that's the truth, right? I think we need to hear this stuff, but repackaging this as something novel and saying that you have new information that is going to be released, and hyping it all up and doing all this bullshit and then not delivering the goods at all and just regurgitating the same shit. I just don't think that's okay. I think that's where we're at with a lot of these UFO guys, and it's it makes me sad. That makes me sad. Joe says, I think Wolf is scared that if people are in the streets, they might come for his house. Yeah, that could be, right? Like maybe he finally realizes, oh shit, if half the country is homeless and hungry, where are they going to go? Yeah, that could be true. Maybe he finally realized, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Anybody got comments on any of this stuff, please save me from myself, like I've said a couple times now. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubleminds.org. Get in here and, please save me. Please save me. Triggered. What's up, Timothy? How you doing? I see you on Periscope there. And what story? There's a lot of stories, man. you can't make me recap them all now. That was a lot of stories. Which one? Reference, and I'll explain. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Actually, here I said I was gonna link it. I'm gonna link it. Let's link this, and you guys can watch this yourself. This is from the CNN's own channel. 13 minutes of Wolf Blitzer coming after Nancy Pelosi. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Kabuki theater at its finest, but they've reversed the script. I'm gonna have a beer. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I still haven't finished my first. I think that's why I'm grumpy. Okay, and good news that Mrs. Strange pulled the beers out of the freezer, so nothing exploded. So there we go. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What else do we got? Oh, here's a good one. Speaking of politics and the media and the rest of this other BS, I'm gonna put this up and we'll talk about this, and then we'll get to UFOs in a few minutes here. And Shag Harbour. Let's see. There we go. This is reported by Yahoo, one of the other most fantastic sources in the world. So news.yahoo.com reports this. This is October 8th. CDC says white men still aren't washing their hands. Yeah. Division politics, race baiting. I'm just tired of this shit. Washington says, reported in Washington, Americans are washing their hands much more than they did before the coronavirus pandemic, according to new research from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The groups less likely to adhere to that guidance were white people, men and people between the ages of 18 and 24, making young white men the picture of hand-washing recalcitrance. How do I say that? See, I'm going to let Microsoft Mike read it because I need to drink a beer. I'm going to do that, and it can pronounce the hard word, and
the groups less likely to adhere to that guidance were white people, men and people between the ages of 18 and 24, making young white men the picture of hand-washing recalcitrance.
Recalcitrance. There you go. Now I know how to say it. Thanks, Microsoft Mike. You're the best. All right, look. What the fuck is this? Are you kidding me? Now, this is where we're at, right? Suddenly, white men still aren't washing their hands, right? Are you kidding me? So explain to me this. Who follows these white men around, the 18 to 24-year-old white men, into the bathrooms to make sure they wash their hands? All right? Or are they going? Where are they going from? Are they going from surveys? They're going from spy cams in the restrooms? Like, where does this shit come from? Are you kidding me? Come on, guys. This is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. When the pandemic first, I don't even want to read this shit. Okay. Anyway, I'm drinking a beer. Let's see if I have a clip I can play so I can just drink a beer. We got 6 minutes or so. Somebody save me. 702-957-1037. I'm begging as I just chug this beer. Okay, there you go. I'm not kidding. I'm really drinking beer. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Yep. Saw that one. Higa, indicting the Mateo says fucking white guys. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm telling you. So Cutie is being indicted in Texas. Yeah, we talked about that last show. Higa, I saw that there. Okay, let's talk about this one more and last article here, and then we'll move on to Shag Harbour. All right, now this is the thing, right? We talk about this quite a lot. We talk about China, right? It's really what we talk about on this show because they get ignored. They straight get ignored, okay? It's all Russia all the time because it's the politically expedient thing, right? It's the political attack. It's the narrative they got going on. So they just leave China to do whatever they're doing. Well, this is reported by The Hill, all right? And this is the headline of this one. And irregular warfare with China and Russia. Ready or not, it's coming, if not already here. Now, no shit, right? So this is October 11th. Now, does anybody know that like they've been hacking the shit out of us like 24/7 for years, probably decades, like hacking the shit out of us. Not just China, especially China, but Russia as well, and other foreign state actors, by the way. We do it to them too, just to say, it goes both ways. But this has already been happening. Irregular warfare. If we're literally hacking, let's say, like hospitals, remember? We just had hospitals here in Vegas got shut down because their system got hit with some sort of ransomware, right? Like, these are the types of things. These are gain of function exercises that are done by by foreign state actors, okay? Because they test it. They're like, all right, well, if we can hit this little network of hospitals here, we can shut it down. We can make it so that they're a lot less effective. All these other things, right? Like, this has been going on. This is an ongoing thing. So no shit, whoever wrote this guy, Sean McFate. What's up, Sean McFate? Yeah, no shit. All right. So not just hacking, right? They're hacking the private sector, right? I mean, it never ends. This stuff never ends. And that's just the start of irregular war. We're not even talking about the killer satellites and all this other shit going on. There's a ton of stuff going on with this, right? There's a ton of stuff going on. Excuse me for just one moment. I need a bottle opener. Damn it. Where'd it go? Okay, now I'm really fucked. Okay, so here we go. Let's read this, and we will... all right. Last week, amid the hubbub of presidential debate, revelations about President Trump's taxes, the SCOTUS war, the COVID-plagued White House, something important happened that almost everybody missed. The Defense Department released the unclassified summary of the Irregular Warfare Annex of the 2018 National Defense Strategy. The strategy tells our armed forces how to prepare for and win the next war, which almost certainly will be an irregular war fight. The military uses terms such as irregular, unconventional, asymmetrical, hybrid, and gray zone to describe any style of combat not resembling the Battle of the Bulge, aka old school regular war. What makes warfare irregular? No one knows, he says. However, we do know that it looks like state-on-state armed conflict in which militaries are like gladiators battling for the fate of the world. Combatants are expected to wear uniforms, have patriot zeal, and honor peace treaties. It's what famed military theorist Karl von Clausewitz envisioned and what the laws of war seek to regulate. There's one problem. No one fights this way anymore except us, he says. No wonder Afghanistan is the longest war in American history. Since 1945, the overwhelming majority of armed conflicts have been irregular insurgencies that seek to topple governments, narco wars that seize countries, narco states, as booty genocides fought between ethnic groups and terrorists who wish to burn down the world. Yeah, no shit. Or in the streets of Portland. Right? This shit's still happening. What's up, Spiral says, we're in a Cold War. Yeah. A warming Cold War, that's for sure. But, this is the thing. So imagine, like, you can cause, just how everything is, you can shut down electrical grids, right? I mean, you could attack sanitation stations. I mean, like water purification stuff. Like there's so many things. You could attack nuclear facilities. I mean, it's unbelievable how many. What would you say? How exposed we are. Like how easily it's done because everything's attached to the grid. Everything's attached to the internet in one way or the other, and you can knock it down. You can take it out. Imagine if you just let's say on. I don't know, Friday at a 4 p.m. in Los Angeles, you just shut off all the traffic lights. Like, what do you think would happen? Right? Like, these are the types of things that we're vulnerable to. These are irregular wars now. And what's happening is they're collecting data on how and when to do these things, right? That these gain of function exercises, like the hospital and the shutting it down for the ransomware. So they're computer systems. So they're doing everything on paper, right? You don't have the laptops and stuff that you're able to access databases and patient files and all the rest of this. You can't get to it. It's a serious problem, right? It's a serious problem. James, what's up says, do drones fall under irregular warfare? I don't think so. I think that's probably standard ass regular warfare at this point, unless they're like autonomous, like swarm drones. I think that's probably a little different. Millie says, what's with the guy in the jetpack flying near LAX that another commercial pilot saw again? Yeah, I saw that. So I didn't actually see the article. Let me see if I can pull that up. It happened again. I tried to find it, actually. I couldn't find it. If anybody has that article, send it over and I'll pull it up. But yeah, so there's another, and not just that, it was one was it in China or one in Japan? Somewhere in the Far East, like somebody found, it happened again. Hold on, let's see. Let's see if I can just find this real fast. Yeah, the jetpack, right? Jetpack. What? I don't know. How we find this? Jetpack ought to get it. All right. Yeah, 9 hours ago. Man spotted flying 6,000 feet up in the air. Here it is. Reported by Inside Edition. Oh, there's the best journalism right there. There's the best journalism. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Dropping this in. And yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Because, yeah, this stuff continues to happen, right? Are we this bored during COVID? We're just building our own jetpacks and flying around LAX. Here's another one. This is October 16th. Yeah, it happened again. The first one was 3,000 feet high, right? This one, a mysterious object spotted flying nearly 6,000 feet in the air over Los Angeles International Airport, was discovered to be a person in a jetpack, according to reports. Just last month, a man in a jetpack was seen flying 3,000 feet away, about 30 years away from an American Airlines flight. That's a typo. I'm not going to try and read their. The FBI are now investigating the unidentified jet setter who was spotted around 1:45 p.m. Wednesday. Police reported. The Federal Aviation Administration confirmed the incident to People, noting that officials are investigating the matter. Yeah. So if that's one of you guys out there and you're just having a joyride, maybe stay away from the airport if you want to do it and not get caught, or not have the FBI open up an investigation. Yeah, twice. Exactly. Yeah, Millie says twice. Exactly, near the LAX airport. I mean, what's going on? You tell me. So it stands to reason. Maybe it's the same dude. Maybe one of you guys. Yeah. There we go. What's up, Johnson? How you doing? Yeah, Black Vault had it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so what's actually going on here? I don't know. You tell me. What's actually happening? This is a little bit crazy. Let's see. Millie says, no look up on ABC. It was 6,000 feet up the first time. Oh, was it? Okay, ABC. Anybody got that? I can't. Let's see. All right. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Finding things by the news source is, kind of shit. But let's see. See if we can find it. Nope. Election. All right, check it out. Just so you see, you go to ABC. What do you get? You get, let's see, you get Chris Christie, you get COVID-19, you get ex-GOP lawmaker, you get Trump reverses California wildfire agent Melania, FBI probe emails. No. Nothing there. Anyway, if you got the article, go ahead and send it over. We'll talk about it. What's up? I see you on Twitch. Eddie says, I'm in the queue for a quick call. Yeah, please save me. Thank you. Save me from myself, somebody. Eddie. All right, so we're going to talk about Shag Harbour in a sec here. So let's get Eddie on real fast. Actually, let's do that. Let's just get Eddie on real fast, and we'll do it. Oh, shit, I never actually sent the thing. There you go. We're live. Wow. All right. Maybe that's why. Okay. What's up, Eddie?
What's going on, man? I'm doing good, dude. Yeah. Hey, are you okay? You're okay, dude. You got this.
I'm okay.
And yeah.
I'm freaking out.
I want to challenge you to not read so much news tomorrow. You try to take a day off from reading some articles, man, and all the bullshit.
I'm freaking out.
You know. Yeah. but you got this. No, I just love this guy with the jetpack, though. I really do. It was actually the first night I was listening to your show, and I called in. You were talking about the first guy right above LAX, and I'm just like, of course, the guy with a jetpack has got to be balls out enough to I'm gonna go buzz planes at LAX, you know,
and then do it again.
I know, right? I mean, I wonder if it's if this guy, because I wonder if the guy in Japan, or I saw it. You're right. There was somebody just did it again recently. I think it was in China or something. I wonder if it was a copycat or if it was the same guy or what. But if this is like some sort of new fad, some sort of secret club they have.
It's like that guy on the. Did you see the dude with the Fleetwood Mac on the skateboard? Did you see that? Yeah. It's like that, right? So it's become the new challenge. It's like the Buzz LAX challenge with a jetpack.
Exactly. Somebody's gonna show up, except this time they're gonna get a tank that's full of jetpacks. Yeah. They're gonna be like, "We're sponsoring. Thanks for all the free publicity, jetpack publicity."
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So this is gonna be a press conference next week, and they're selling jetpacks.
Right. You're right. I don't know.
Marketing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling
you. Did you ever get your beer open? Did you ever get your beer open? Is what I want to really know.
No,
I mean, you can use the edge.
I'm still looking.
Get the edge of your table, or
I think I think Mrs. Strange jacked my opener as a cruel prank. I think that's what happened. It was right here on the table and it's gone. So either I had like a real time haunting and a poltergeist took my bottle opener, and that is rude as anything. Or I think my wife grabbed it and probably put it where it belongs. So yeah, we're gonna take a break in a minute.
Funny how they do that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. She's like, it doesn't belong there. Yeah, well, I need it though. I need it right now. Okay, so anyway, just point being, like, I'm a little agitated. It's a little bit hot, and it just, yeah, whatever. And we started late, and this is what happened. Check this out. Right before we started, again, the audio just took a shit. All of it, everything worked, and then I was ready to hit start, and then nothing worked. Like, if that, like, it takes a full 20 minutes to reboot and get everything back up and test everything, and it's just a pain in the ass.
I saw that. I was ready to watch it. I'm like, I could feel your stress through the internet here. I feel like I was like, oh, he's. But hey, man, we appreciate what you do. You know, it's got to be stressful, but you know, this is awesome. What do you do, man?
Thank you. But you get it. You know, I'm human. You know,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a beer with a top on it in my hand, and yeah. I'm about to start going commando. I'm going to stab it and like drink it out of the bottom. Watch this.
There's no firm table around like in the old days. You know, just put it on the edge of the table and pop it with your fist. The thing comes right off.
Yeah, I'll be able to do something like that. When we take a break here, it's cool. So any thoughts on any of the rest of this stuff?
So no, man. I mean, like, I was just I'm excited that you're going to talk about Shag Harbour. It's something I haven't thought about in a while, but you know. It's I thought, you know, I wanted to take the opportunity to maybe real quick, just because I can't be on for too long. I have to be up for work early, but I would describe real quick, you know, in my experience, I've just in the things that I've seen, the vast range of kinds of I guess quote UFOs, whatever you want to call them, you can see. I've seen everything from, like I've described on your show in the past, you know, like solid triangular craft to that are like solid craft in the sky that would sit stationary and then move off at insane rates of speed. I've seen what I could only describe as orbs of light, like appearing and disappearing and doing weird things around each other. I've seen long strings of flickering light, and then I've seen a hovering solid disc that was at a distance, but we could both tell, me and my wife at the time could tell what we were looking at. And it hovered over some mountains on the west side of Las Vegas and then just disappeared. And that was one that was, and it even had the what they would say, like, I've heard somebody describe it perfectly, where if you take a plate and you drop it on a table, the way it sort of has like a wobble to it, it was doing that exact sort of motion, and we could see the light reflecting off of like a metallic surface. It would like glare, and then it vanished into thin air, completely into thin air. And it was insane. That was the first time I ever saw something I would consider solid. That was before the triangle craft. But one of the most interesting ones that I wanted to drop real quick, and then we can do your break, was something that I was sort of assumed, you know, all these incredible craft out there, or all the possibilities of the technology that could exist in the universe. You know, I always sort of assumed that something like this would exist, but I'm sitting out on my balcony, and I used to be a smoker, and I'd spend just hours looking out at the stars and smoking, and I look, I'm living at the far west side of town of Las Vegas at this point, looking over the west mount, like the west, the west side of the desert. There's like some mountains, and this is off of Cheyenne and Wallapai, if you're familiar with Las Vegas. And I'm looking directly out to the west, and this is a really foggy night. Like, I think this was December 2016. And I look out to I poke my head out, and I see this like sort of glow in the fog, because it's really low clouds and foggy that night. And I see this sort of like glowing distortion. And as I'm like sort of focused on it, the distortion goes away. But I'm not shitting you, the fog like split, like something like a giant boomerang just ripped through it. And it was probably in my vision, like, this thing wasn't incredibly close to me. It was probably maybe 1.5 miles from where I was, where I was sitting, like, and looking at it. But I could see the path of fog that it had split in the air. And in places you could even see the stars. But as I was watching this thing, it was moving pretty quick. And from the time I spotted it to the time that it was completely just like, gone, was maybe 3.5 seconds at the most. But it came from the completely south side of my vision to moving to the north. And as it was sort of passing, like where directly in front of me, out a ways still, I felt like it hooked off to the north, hooked off to the northwest. So it was moving like south to north, and then hooked off to the northwest, like in a way, like extremely quickly. And I couldn't believe. I was like, "Holy fucking shit!" And like I've said before, these things happen so quick. But I know, and I'm objective, and I'm looking for this shit because I've had these experiences. And something like that happens so quick and fleeting, but I know what I saw, something that I have no other way of describing it, and it had to be cloaked. But it came flying over that west side of Las Vegas, and just you could see it push the fog out of its way and clear a path as it just ripped off over the mountains, and made no sound, no kind of, no whoosh or anything like that I could hear. It was just it was just something visible that you could see if you were watching that part of the sky real quick. You would, it wasn't windy. It was like low and foggy. Like you could see the mist around the street lights and stuff. I mean, it was insane. It was one of those things that was crazy. Even after all the things I experienced, I was like, that was crazy. And I kept trying to figure out ways to explain it away, but I'm like, no, there's no way to explain that away. That thing was huge. I mean, it was probably the biggest thing and like the closest in proximity at that, that was that size that I ever see. I mean, all I'll say is it was big. I'm not even going to hazard a guess because it was night and it was just, it was invisible. All I could see was the path that it was making in the fog. But that's my story on that one.
That's crazy. That's good. That's good shit.
Yeah.
You got some good UFO stories, man. You seen.
Yeah, I told you. I told you the first night. I'm like, I told you after I emailed you after that we spent 2.5 hours doing a whole show on my story, and then I emailed you after. I'm like, that was awesome, man. But honestly, we really only scratched the surface of some of this. I mean, it's been 8 years, and I told you. I mean, they just kept happening. It was after the first one happened. It was like boom, another one. Boom, another one. And broad daylight stuff. And I had witnesses with me, people with me on most of them. There's only very few of these that happened when I was by myself. And so it's insane. But I mean, it did. It kept happening. And so, it's interesting stuff, man.
Yeah, definitely. If, keep that camera nearby. I want to see some weird shit.
I used to have, the sad thing is when this all started happening, I had a lot of video, and this was in 2012, my first sighting happened. And then I'd say my second sighting happened within weeks after the first one. And then I did start trying to film some stuff, and I did have some decent footage of some things, and it was all on an old computer that I think I have in my garage. I'd have to see if it can be retrieved from old hard drives, but it's one of those things. I continue. I do. I'm, anything. I pray that one day I'll have something close and extended enough to really get some more good cell phone, because we all have a camera in our pocket now, but the problem is like I said, the stuff is so fleeting or so hard. And I love how you put it on that show. Like I was explaining that to a friend too. Yeah. We all know what airplanes are. We all see them up there, and you know what it is when you see it. But try to pull out your phone and take a decent video to where you can even explain it, to try to get a good picture of that airplane, and that's exactly what it is. And airplanes are easy. They just slowly cruise across the sky. The stuff that I've seen, it moves in ways that you can't even explain with our technology. And to try to get a video or a picture of it sometimes is just like, it's insane. But I mean, I hope that one day, I will get something. I mean, I always tell people, even if I do get that video, only the ones who want to believe are going to believe it. And, you know, most people, for me, what it took was having that experience, man. Like most the people who know me know is like that. I never believed in this stuff. You would have never convinced me with videos or pictures or anything. It took me having that experience. And until I did, it didn't, you know, I would have never considered it.
They're out there. They are out there. That's for sure. Just don't believe
yeah.
Tom DeLonge and crew. Don't believe.
I don't trust him, man. I watched his whole long thing on Rogan's podcast, and I was like, oh, he rubs me wrong. And I grew up as a fan of his. I was a huge Blink-182 fan as a young kid growing up in Southern California, and it sort of, and then when I did hear he was going off into the UFO field and trying to do some stuff, I was like, all right, good for him, you know. And then watching his, I don't know, I don't trust him. I just, there's something about him, and I'm a good judge of character. I feel like, and I can tell when people are full of shit or when they're holding something out. And I just, sorry, Tom, dude. I feel like you're.
Yeah, well, you call it like you see it, right? I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah. There's a couple flies buzzing around there.
Yeah, and bringing the devil to Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
Totally. All right. Anything else, real quick, while we got you on?
No, man. That's it. I hope everybody has a wonderful night, and I'm gonna go hit the sack.
Right on. I appreciate it. Thanks for saving me from myself. Let me contemplate and meditate for just a quiet moment.
Man, just take that deep breath. Feel that light. Find that light, man. You got this.
I apprate it. Eddie from LV. Right, Eddie from Las Vegas. Thanks for calling, man. Always a pleasure. Have a great night. Okay.
All right, you too, man.
Thanks a lot. Here you go. Simple as that. You'd be on the show that way, just like Eddie. And let's see. Let's move him in case he needs to be moved. There you go. I'll move you right back out to the. There you go. Free and clear. You can start going to sleep and not worry about us listening to you. Okay, so there we go. If you guys want to be part of the show, phone number, it just took a shit, but I'm going to play it. I'm going to start it. We're going to do a quick 2-minute break, and I'm going to go find my beer opener. I'm going to get to the bottom of this shit. You guys, hang tight for 2 minutes. Hit the bathroom, grab a beer, find your opener. I'll meet you right back here in 2 minutes. Jeez. I promise it'll get better. And commercial action. Are you enjoying the conversation? Do you like talking about all things aliens, conspiracy?
Thank you for calling Troubled Minds. Caller ID authorized as a host.
Thank you.
Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
Probably aware.
Show recording is on. Dual channel.
The government, major corporations, and anybody with a ton of money needs to control the narrative. Otherwise, they cannot control your mind. And as a result, free speech, independent thought has become the devil, the opposition. And of course, anybody that knows anything realizes that notion is absurd. The individual decides what they want for themselves, not from the collective. And pay attention to the media and ask yourself, which are they telling you to prefer? Now, I ask for help. The way you can help this conversation continue is by spreading the word. And it's really easy. You can spend just a few seconds of your time. Go to troubledminds.org, that's the official website, and find the iTunes link and leave us a review. If you enjoy the conversation, that is the best way you can give back to Troubled Minds and the community that we've worked so hard to build together. Otherwise, the technocracy will continue to stamp us into the ground. They will continue to shadow ban the words we say and the thoughts we think, and this will never end. In other news, I got my beer open. What's up? Welcome back to Troubled Minds. Sorry about the all the stupidness, but hey, whatever. We're all human, right? Here we go. Let's talk about Shag Harbour. Now, Shag Harbour was like I described it in the beginning. This was Canada's Roswell, right? It's probably their most famous and most compelling, as far as I'm aware. Of course, I can't be aware of all of the Canadian UFO incidents, but this is the one that gets talked about the most. Kind of like so Roswell here in the States, we have what's the one in United Kingdom? Rendlesham Forest is probably there, Roswell. So Shag Harbour is definitely Canada's Roswell. Okay, so here we go. Let's just start with this real fast. This is the from the Ministry of Truth, the Wikipedia. The Shag Harbour UFO incident was a reported impact of an unknown large object into the waters near Shag Harbour, Nova Scotia, a tiny fishing village on the Atlantic coast, on October 4th, 1967. So we're talking 50 years ago. The reports were investigated by various civilian RCMP, which is the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, for you that don't speak Canadian, and the Canadian Coast Guard, and military, and the U.S. Condon Committee. So let's see. So we have some problems here that they say that we'll get into that stuff later. All right. So that's what's up. That's what we're talking about tonight. It's it was one of those airplane crashes, right? That where it started out as like an airplane crash. It had some witnesses. They see some lights in the sky. Shag Harbour, SHAG. And so, what's up, Dwayne? I see you there. What's up, Johnson? Let's see. Who else? Let's see. Okay. Just reading some chat, catching up. Michael, I see you there. Thanks for showing up. Let's see. Yes, good story. Thank you, Larry. What's up, Larry? Thanks for being here tonight. Okay, so that's the beginning of Shag Harbour. Let's play a couple clips here. I prepared a few so we can see, and a few different accounts here. One's from the History Channel. One's from is it Scientific something or other? Anyway, you guys will have the links afterwards. Here we go. Let's play the History Channel account of this. And this is not from Ancient Aliens. This is from one of their older shows where they talk about specifically just these UFO instances. So this was a show dedicated to Shag Harbour. So here we go. It is. It is Shag Harbour. Here you go. Spelled just like that. If you guys want to check it out, there's the, again, Ministry of Truth version of this, which is Wikipedia and Shag Harbour. Oh, I see. You're being a funny British guy and saying shag, like Austin Powers, shag baby, right? I get you, buddy. Sherry says I don't trust him either. Tom DeLong, yeah, I agree 100%. He seems like as the kids would say, derpy. He's got the derpy look on his face all the time, and he's always seems to be making shit up, if you ask me. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. Melvin says, "Yep, what's up? What's good? Came late, but enjoying the show. Cool. All right, here we go. So Shag Harbour. Here we go. Part 1 from the History Channel. This is what it looks like. This is what they say, and this is how it was described by witnesses, even. So here we go. Let's play this, and then we'll keep on moving.
Shag Harbour is a small fishing village on the east coast of Canada. It is a peaceful place where the locals focus on the sea, not the sky. But in 1967, a dramatic UFO incident upended Shag Harbour's quiet ways. It was October 4th, 1967, when two of the townspeople en route to their homes spotted something strange above the tree line.
My friend and I were talking as I was driving, and all of a sudden my friend said, look at those lights in the sky.
When we first seen them, they looked like they were stopped. Of course, we was driving in the car and we couldn't tell if they were stopped or if they were moving or what they were.
And after we lost sight of it and we ran around the corner, we gained sight of it for a few more seconds, then we lost sight of it again.
I know I was scared when I first got out of the car because I wasn't very long getting into the house, like to get my father and get him to come out and have a look at it. And I was kind of hoping that it would stay there long enough for him to see it, and it did.
Smith and Kendrick weren't the only ones to see the strange lights. Many of the locals watched as they flickered off and on. Suddenly, the luminous object turned on its side and plummeted into the harbor waters. Eyewitnesses rushed to notify the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or RCMP.
The people who initially arrived on the scene, the civilians who were called in to aid the RCMP, concerns were for survivors. Most people saw this thing occur from a distance, and it was initially thought that perhaps it was an airplane crash. But what the eyewitnesses saw, or in this case what RCMP officers saw when they arrived on the scene, there were at least 3 officers on the shoreline that at least saw a pale yellow light moving on the water. They all felt that it was something quite unusual.
Okay, so we have 6 witnesses see a light in the sky. They believe it to be a plane crash. It lands in the water, and they're concerned. They think it's like a literal plane crash. You have people's lives you got to save, right? So they spring into action. They call the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the RCMP, which is kind of like the FBI of Canada, and the Nationals, the Feds, and so they come over and they start investigating. And so the witnesses not only see this plane crash, whatever it happens to be, they see some orb or some light traveling underneath the water, like this thing has crashed into the water and now it's still moving around down there. So it kind of turns from oh shit, people might be dead to oh shit, what the hell is that thing? So we go from a whole new oh shit factor, and people start really wondering what's going on now. So let's go to part 2 and keep trucking. We're talking about one more time. This is Shag Harbour, and yeah, not that Shag, you dirty Brits. The other Shag, the Shag Harbour in Canada, Nova Scotia. Yes, that's where it's at, kind of near Nova Scotia. James says my mom lives right there. It's in Nova Scotia. Yep, that is correct. Let's see. I'll have to check it out next time. Visit her, and I'm in Ontario. She's out in Scotia. Yeah. So there's apparently like a little thing, like I'll show you. There's like a little tourist place to check it out as well. But there you go. Check out the Wikipedia. There's a map, and actually, hold on, I got it right here. There you go. So there's an actual thing right there in Nova Scotia where they say where the incident happened. So you can actually go out to the spot and kind of go out and get eyeballs on where this thing supposedly crashed in the harbor. So yeah, and let's see, what else is there? There's more. There's the map. Let's see, what else is there? There we go. There's the actual newspaper. So we'll go back and take a look at that in a little bit. But then there's also what else? Oh, I don't have it. But there's like a tourist type trap thing where you can go and visit. Kind of like Roswell has. So okay, there we go. So yeah, you can definitely go check it out. All right, so yes, Shag Harbour, the incident in Canada, and here we go. We're going to play part 2 from the History Channel, talking about Shag Harbour. Action.
The RCMP officers were not alone in observing the mysterious object. They were surrounded by a small gathering of spectators.
And we all seen it, the police seen it, and everybody was, I guess, startled by it, and none of the people that were there had ever seen anything like it before. And I know I hadn't.
The witnesses stood and stared, mesmerized by the strange light on the water. Then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, the light vanished. A Coast Guard cutter was summoned, but local fishermen, already on board their vessels, headed for the spot where the light had last been seen. They were looking for survivors, but the only clue that anything had happened that night was a thick layer of an unknown substance.
There was a great bubbly foam, and it was yellow, nothing I had ever seen before. You couldn't smell no odor or anything, and we went about probably 3 lengths of the boat, and we ran out of it. And we turned the boat around and came back into it, and we ran out of it again.
The foam, like the lights, eventually disappeared. When it was obvious there was no further sign of distress, the search ended for the evening. By the following morning, the RCMP had already made contact with nearby military bases. They were hoping to find a reasonable explanation for what they'd seen. There was none. This left the small town of Shag Harbour to become big news.
It's a headline story throughout the North American press and beyond. And in that, it was said quite clearly, there were statements made by personnel at Canadian Forces headquarters in Ottawa saying that, yes, indeed, we are searching for the crash of what we believe to be an unidentified flying object. This is one of those rare cases where something indeed real has gone into the water, and it's not an aircraft, and it's not space junk. This was an official statement.
This was an official statement. So it is not an aircraft, not space junk. So what does that mean? That's a UFO. That is a damn UFO, right? So here's one of the initial reports here. The Halifax, Canada, Saturday, October 7th, 1967. Could be something concrete in Shag Harbour UFO, says the RCAF, which is the Royal Canadian Air Force. And so there's something happening. So the search continues according to the newspaper here. And so they see the witnesses see the crash, right? It goes into the water. They think it's a plane crash. They see lights kind of moving around underneath the water there. It starts foaming, which is verified by the actual folks that went out to rescue, like local fishermen that were already out on the boat, went out that way to try and do kind of beat the Coast Guard, Canadian Coast Guard, to the I'm not sure what they're called, the official term, but the officials, they try to beat them to the rescue to see if they can save anybody from the water, this type of thing, and they don't see anything. But there's no crash, there's no debris, there's just a glowing thing underneath the water that's moving, and they're trying to get ahead of it, and it continues to move away, and it's foaming. Like, you get this weird, bizarre foam in the water. That, these are seasoned fishermen. They're out there. They see the water every day, and this is the ocean doesn't just foam like that in calm water. So they were a little bit confused about the entire situation. And the next day, they confirm it, that it's not space debris. It's not an airplane crash. So what does that mean? That's right. It's a UFO. It's a UFO. I tell you what. James says, what's up? The oceans are so vast. We have no idea what could be going on out there. I agree 100%, 100%. And this is right on the coast. We got people witnessing this stuff. All right. So let's play the next clip here, and then we'll keep on trucking. Part 3, this is from the History Channel regarding Shag Harbour. And so we've got the plane crash. We got the lights in the water, and part 3 action.
Canadian Armed Forces clearly stated that the object was officially a UFO. But the question of where it went after hitting the water was still a mystery. Canada's Department of National Defence was determined to find out. Military authorities ordered an underwater search. Within hours of the sighting, a Navy diving team was bobbing off the shores of the tiny fishing village, scanning the harbor bottom for debris. Meanwhile, Shag Harbour residents were stunned by what was happening in their small town. Those who had been the first to witness the lights were quickly gaining notoriety.
Everybody teased me a lot about seeing Martians and all this stuff, but I believe I see something. I did see something, there's no question about that. And what it was, that I don't know, but it was something. It was definitely something.
The people of Shag Harbour had no expectations. Roswell, although it occurred in '47, did not become, a story and a case until almost into the '80s, at least until '78. And they weren't influenced by that. This Shag Harbour stood alone.
Nothing was found during the Navy's 3-day vigil. On the 8th of October, the search was cancelled. Media interest began to wane, and life in Shag Harbour settled back to normal. But researchers now claim there is more to this incident than originally revealed.
Oh, there's more to the incident. You don't say. You don't say. Right? There's always more to the story, isn't there? So begins the Fox Mulder cover-up. Right? Yeah, exactly. Here we go. This is from shagharborincident.com. And there's lots of great websites on this stuff. I find that most of the better information comes from the independents, right? Like, comes from the folks that are hobbyists that kind of go through and they've gone through the newspaper reports, and they've listened to the witnesses, and they have actual good information here. So this is not CNN and Fox News trying to spin the bullshit and tell us the propaganda like Tom DeLonge. There's like actual people out there doing good work. Like, we talk about this quite a bit, and without these folks doing good work, where would we be? Where would we be? Real truth seekers. So here we go. Let's read some of this and actually see how this kind of goes in line with what the History Channel is saying at this point. 2 more clips to play from the History Channel, but let's see what this guy has to say. Actually, no, let's just play those clips, and then we'll go back into this website and then kind of compare notes. I got tons of stuff here on Shag Harbour and some of the weird stuff that happened, including possibly a second UFO, or USO, as Sherry said there, unidentified submerged object. So that's definitely a thing. And so not only with the Tic Tacs, right? Everybody remembers the Tic Tacs that Tom DeLonge's little merry men, band of merry men, that they're always flouting as proof of extraterrestrial life. The 3 Tic Tacs, that they were supposedly underwater as well, right? So they came out of the water, flew around, and then went under the water again, something like that. So here we go. Something similar happened in Shag Harbour in 1967. So here we go. Part 4. Let's finish up this history part, and then we'll go back to some of these other websites and see what they have to say about it, and see how it actually matches or doesn't match this initial account here. So part 4 action.
26 years later, the case was re-examined and unofficial information began to emerge. The men from the original Navy diving team were the first to talk, and what a story they had to tell.
These men are claiming that there was a second operation, and their story has been corroborated by other armed forces personnel, that this UFO did not stay in the Shag Harbour area but got away under the water and went up the coast and came to rest near Government Point. Now at Government Point you have a secret base. In those days it was an American base on Canadian soil. To have an unidentified craft of any type sitting very near this facility and on some of their detection equipment would be a matter of extreme concern.
The Shelbourne military base at Government Point is now closed. But at the time of the sightings, it was a first line of defense against Soviet threats. Here, American forces monitored for submarine activity using a sensitive underwater grid. According to the unofficial story, an object triggered the detection device, and a flotilla of Navy vessels responded.
From our best information, 6 to 7 ships camped over the object for about a week, keeping an eye on it. Divers went down on it. One diver in particular makes no bones about it that this thing was an unidentified flying object, and there were things on it.
There were things on it. Things on it. What does that mean? There were things on it. Not like an airplane? Unidentified flying object? Like a Tic Tac doesn't have any things on it. It has some weird feet, they said. That's it. No propulsion, no wings, no cockpit, no passengers. Just some things on it. All right, let's go to part 5 here, and then we'll look at some of these articles and read some of this, and then we'll get a different, near the end here, we'll roll a different account of this as told by, I hate to say that the History Channel is full of, I'll just say it, it's full of shit, but you kind of get the feeling that, like, the more I watch the History Channel, the more I'm like, wait, what? Like, what's going on here? Anyway, here we go. Part 5 from the History Channel, Shag Harbour, and they're bringing up some compelling data here and some compelling eyewitness accounts and some other things. But let's see how they finish here.
And as the men put it, there was still activity in these crafts, and they're absolutely certain that it was nothing from this earth, that it was a UFO. So this does go beyond the official record by quite a stretch.
According to researchers, other eyewitnesses have come forward, making this story difficult to dismiss.
So what evidence do we have of this happening? We have 3 to 4 people that tell us the story that this did happen. We've got the integrity of the witnesses, but that's, witnesses are, we don't have the smoking gun, that's for sure, but I think we probably have the gun, but we just don't have the bullets.
The unofficial story may never have confirmation, but it most certainly is complete. There is a beginning, a middle, and according to investigators, a surprising end.
One of the things I enjoy most about the story is its end, because I suppose you could say, ufologically speaking, it has a happy ending, unlike most of these stories. After these ships sat over this object for a week, the UFOs start moving again while still submerged under the water and move down the coast of Nova Scotia and out into the Gulf of Maine. Once in the Gulf of Maine, they surface and fly away. This was a genuine UFO event. And what does that mean? Yes, it was an unidentified flying object, but beyond that, it means that it's nothing conventional. There are certainly aspects of this that you cannot explain or explain away.
All right, you check that out. they actually, so after they hung out in the harbor a little bit, more than one, there were two now. They kind of floated out into the ocean, right? Kind of like James was saying there, and like Sherry was saying, USOs, unidentified submerged objects, right? And James again says the oceans are so vast, we have no idea what could be going on out there. And so they do. They come out of the harbor and they drift out into the great blue yonder, into the ocean, right? Gone. So this is a little bit weird because we got a number of things going on. So we have something and crashing, right? People believe it's a plane crash. Number one. Now number two, there's no evidence of a plane crash. There's lights underwater, which are joined by a second light, which appears to possibly be some sort of rescue mission or rescue operation by another extraterrestrial craft. A little bit weird stuff going on here, right? And this is some of the stuff that came out as the unofficial story, as of course the years passed, because from the government you don't ever get the official story, right? We know this. We all know this. Matter of fact, let's hear from Fox Mulder on the case, because well, he's on every case.
Then what can I say? How can I disprove lies that are stamped with an official seal?
That will be all, Mr. Mulder.
You can deny all the things I've seen, all the things I've discovered, but not for much longer. Because too many others know what's happening out there. And no government agency has jurisdiction over the truth.
Yeah, that's a fact. You'll like my collection of sound clips that I keep because they just seem to be relevant time and again. So here we go. From shagharborincident.com. Let's just read some of this, right? The first indication of this mysterious occurrence would come from local residents who noticed strange orange lights in the sky on the night of October 4th, 1967. Most witnesses agreed that there were 4 orange lights that evening. 5 teenagers watched these lights. Oh, that's it. It was teenagers. Forget it. Never mind. It never happened. I'm just kidding. Teenagers out there, we love you. Just kidding. It's like all the colleges with their COVID, right? Anyway, 5 teenagers watched those lights flash in sequence and then suddenly dive in a 45-degree angle toward the water's surface. The witnesses were surprised that the lights did not dive into the water but seemed to float on the water approximately 1/2 mile from the shore. Witnesses at first thought they were watching a tragic airplane crash and quickly reported as much to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, like we said earlier, which is located at Barrington Passage. Coincidentally, the RCMP constable, Ron Pound, felt that he was seeing 4 lights. Ron Pound had already witnessed the strange lights himself as he drove down Highway 3 en route to Shag Harbour. Pound felt that he was seeing 4 lights, all attached to one flying craft. He estimated the craft to be about 60 feet long. Now, again, so now we have a trained observer, right, which is a police officer, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. And so he witnessed these lights as he was driving down Highway 3, again, which you don't get from some of this History Channel narrative type stuff, right? And then, so he says he felt he was seeing 4 lights all attached to one flying craft. He estimated the craft to be about 60 feet long, okay? All right, this continues. So the response: the Constable Pound made his way to the shore to get a closer look at the phenomenal sight. He was accompanied by Police Corporal Victor Werbicki, Constable Ron O'Brien, and other local residents. Pound clearly saw a yellow light slowly moving on the water, leaving a yellowish foam in its wake. All eyes were glued on the light as it slowly either moved too distant to be seen or dipped into the icy waters. Coast Guard cutter number 101 and other local boats rushed to the spot of the sighting, but by the time they arrived, the light itself was gone. However, the crewmen could still see the yellow foam, indicating that something had possibly submerged. Nothing else could be found that night, and the search was called off at 3 a.m. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police ran a traffic check with the Rescue Coordination Center in Halifax and Canadian Forces Station, Barrington, and at Bokaro, Nova Scotia, a NORAD radar facility. They were told that there were no missing aircraft reported that evening, either civilian or military. Okay, so we got no missing aircraft. We got the only ones that saw it up close were those fishermen that actually approached it before the Coast Guard and everybody else got there, and they saw these lights underwater. The initial fishermen saw lights underwater and this yellow foam, and the lights were kind of creeping away and slowly faded out as the Coast Guard and everybody else arrived. Let's see. Let's see. What's up, Eli? Thanks for showing up. The truth is out there. Johnson says, Mike, can you ask Frank Stain to wake up? I think he's fallen asleep. Frank, wake up. Wake up, buddy. Wake up, buddy. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Let's see. Everything in good. Chat's in line. Everything's good. All right. If you guys have comments on this, or I know many of you live in Canada that listen to this show. Does anybody live out that way? Have maybe relatives that saw this, or stories that have been passed down? Yeah, my mother's uncle's cousin's second removed boyfriend was there. Right? Anything like that, that'd be fantastic. And again, that's why we do it like this. We do it so that you can call and you can be part of this. What do you think? Do you think this was a UFO? Do you think this is some sort of again, it's always the same questions, right? Is it something anomalous? Probably, definitely. Compelling evidence to suggest that. But does that mean aliens? Does that mean UFOs? Does that mean USOs, right? Does that mean any of this type of thing? Or is the possible difference here that maybe it was some sort of military thing, like military experiment, and they had some thing going, and they're like, shit, it hit the water, and then they said, turn the lights off, sink it at the bottom, we'll take it out to sea and ditch it, right? There's that possibility as well, right? So of course, if that were the case, it would explain a cover-up, where they'd be like, nothing happened, nothing to see, blah, blah, whatever. We'll just leave it as is and pretend we don't know anything about it, right? So anyway, if you guys have comments on this, if you've heard of this, Shag Harbour, this Canadian UFO incident, they've turned into an unidentified submerged object, actually met with a second glowing orb under the water, somehow, some way, that was seemed to be some sort of, some have speculated an extraterrestrial rescue mission to go maybe help repair. This is from Giorgio Tsoukalos, of course, from the History Channel, Ancient Aliens. But because he says it, that means many other people have said it clearly, because ancient astronaut theorists say yes. There we go. They say yes. So yeah. So according to ancient astronaut theorists, that a UFO crashed, they were in distress, and another UFO came to help them either repair or pull them out of there so that they could repair and do their thing. So anyway, there's the local and the Giorgio Tsoukalos takes. Here we go. So let's continue here. So soon the story died down, of course, until 1993. As the original story faded from papers and newscasts, several theories were put forward. One explanation was that a Russian spacecraft had crashed, which would explain the presence of a Russian submarine in the area. Now, this was also the rumor of an American involvement in the follow-up investigation, but there was no official statement from the United States. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Try and get an official statement that's not, lie, cheating, and stealing. Lies, all lies. Okay, so the Shag Harbour incident would have new life breathed into it through the efforts of MUFON investigator Chris Stiles. Back to MUFON, right? It's weird how we always have the same cats showing up to these interesting things. This is, again, later, past 1993, kind of breathing new life into the story. The case intrigued this individual, Chris Stiles, so much that he decided to search for more details. Stiles found the names of many of the original witnesses through newspaper clippings and was able to interview many of them. Now, that's useful, right? That's helpful, as long as the information is transparent when it comes out, and you don't edit it for context and take out things that don't fit your narrative and these types of things. But it continues. Stiles was assisted by MUFON investigator Doug Ledger. These two men would uncover some extremely compelling evidence through their interviews. They discovered that when the divers of HMCS Granby finished their work, the case was not over after all. The divers, along with other witnesses, related these events. The object that entered the waters of Shag Harbour had soon left the area, traveling underwater for about 25 miles to a place called Government Point, at the mouth of Shelbourne Harbour, which was near a top-secret NATO submarine detection base. The object was detected by hydrophones. Is that right? Hydrophones? And naval vessels were positioned over it. After a couple of days of military observation by Navy divers and sensors, the military made plans for a recovery operation. That's when a second USO, unidentified submerged object, joined the first. Off the record, military witnesses indicate that the second craft had arrived to render aid to the original USO, and that's exactly the Giorgio Tsoukalos take, right? So now we have divers, supposed government divers. So the thing lands, takes off 25 miles out to a place called Government Point. Then they detected it with this top secret NATO submarine detection base. Then the military came out to do a what do they call it? recovery operation. That's when a second unidentified submerged object showed up, and off-the-record military witnesses indicate that the second craft had arrived to render aid to the original USO. Yeah. Crazy, right? So again, there's the Giorgio Tsoukalos take, and saying that somebody actually showed up to help it. So it crashed. It kind of took off outside the harbor, and days later, what did they say? Let's see. It was days, several days, right? Let's see. Let's position it over. After a couple of days of military observation, 2 days, couple of days, the military made plans for the recovery operation, and that's when the second one showed up. Like, what the hell's going on there, right? That's definitely. And let's see. Sherry, what's up? Says sounds like they took it very seriously. Agreed, right? You got military on this thing. You got the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, all this stuff. Melvin, what's up? Says sometimes I think the military is behind a lot of stuff we see in this world. Yeah, it could be, right? I think that's part of the problem here. Larry says, what's up, Larry? Says things on it would describe life forms. I think maybe, right? What's up, Todd? OG Todd. Hopefully you got something good to say tonight. Hopefully you brought your A game, your good attitude, man. We got good Todd tonight. All right, here we go. So there we go. The second one showed up to render aid to the original USO. Okay. So at this time, the Navy decided to wait and watch. After a week of monitoring the two USOs, after a week, okay, a week. All right, the second one shows up to help the first one. At this time, the Navy decides to wait and watch. After about a week of monitoring the two USOs, the flotilla of Navy vessels were promptly deployed to investigate a Russian submarine, which had entered Canadian waters nearby. At this point, the two underwater craft made their move. They made their way to the Gulf of Maine, and putting distance between themselves and the chasing Navy ships, they broke the surface and shot away into the skies. There you go. There's the whole story. These extraordinary events were corroborated by many witnesses, both civilian and military. Unfortunately, the reports were given off the record. Ex-military personnel feared the loss of their pensions, feared the loss of their pensions, and civilian witnesses feared ridicule and their privacy being invaded. The unusual events of Shag Harbour command an important place in the study of UFOs and USOs. There's little doubt that something unknown crashed or landed in the waters of Shag Harbour on October 4th, 1967. And there you go. There's the full story, right? And so it's hard to get the actual full story, except by bloggers like this, like people that run their own websites, that do their own research, that watch all the videos and put the stuff together, because you just can't get it, right? Telling like a story takes so long to get all the details in there that's why no stories really get told, right? It's all propaganda and spin and this and that. Leave out half the details and just leave the ones in that you want, type of shit. Like that's how the news media gets its way, right? That's how they do their thing. So anybody actually kind of digging into this type of stuff, of course, is going to get ridiculed, but that's the only way to get the story from independent people that care about the details enough to actually comb through them, Folks like UFO Joe here in Vegas, Go check out ufojoe.net. Like, the guy painstakingly transcribes conversations that happen in interviews and these types of things, because like we said in the past, many of these interviews, they tend to disappear, right? They tend to just go away. Like, you go to YouTube to find it and it's been taken down, right? For whatever reason, who the hell knows? But so those type of things, those type of people putting that type of effort into it is very good. Is very good. So yeah, there we go. Let's see. Okay, everybody's okay. Frankenstein's awake. All right. Stott says not staying. Going back to gaming. Just hopped in for a smoke. What's up, buddy? All right. That's a good attitude. That's the good Todd attitude. Not showing up to tell everybody they're wrong. All right, man. Have a good night. Thanks for showing up. Okay. So again, what do you guys think? So, given all of the information we've got from the Canadians and from this blogger here and from Tsoukalos, ancient astronaut theorists say yes. Do you think that's, again, what are the possibilities here? The Russian submarine shows up later in the week, right? So 2 days later, they're still watching this thing underwater. A second glowing orb shows up. Then, on top of that, a Russian submarine comes sneaking around trying to see what the hell's going on. And then they watch it for a week, and then this thing takes off. Both of them take off, and they escape. Break through the water, and they fly off. Crazy stuff, right? This is pretty crazy stuff. Pretty crazy. Okay, so we got a few more clips here to play regarding this. But what do you guys think? If anybody has takes on this, I'd love to hear it. 702-957-1037. Give us a call. Jump on the Discord. We'll put you on the show, and you can tell me what you think about Shag Harbour. Do you believe this? Do you believe this is a bunch of garbage, a bunch of hogwash, a bunch of propaganda, or something else entirely different? And yeah, you know what I think. I don't know what to think because the information is all over the damn place. That's part of the problem. Okay, so here we go. So we got some more information here. This is from the Medium, which again, you know, always not the best sources, but they're sources. They're sources nonetheless. Let's slap this in here. We can take a look at this. There we go. So 53 years ago, yada yada, Shag Harbour, blah blah. There's something good in here. So here's Ledger and Stiles. Here's the two folks from MUFON, and this is the as reported by Medium, what they were, how they kind of came back, recircled around in past 1993 as part of MUFON, interviewed some of the old witnesses. These are the two individuals, and so this is good. This is good stuff. When they go back and they actually start to pull old data out of old incidents that people haven't actually done a proper accounting of. This is good. This is a good investigative journalism. It's not the same old garbage that we read all the time. Okay, so let's see what else. All right, 225. Let's see. We got what do we got? Shag Harbour. All right, let me pull through some of this stuff and let's find out. There's a phone number if you guys are looking for somebody to come in and tell me what you think. If not, I'm going to just pour through some of this and pick out something good here. Let's see. Okay, so they're trying to frame this in the way they do with with unidentified, the 4 observables or 5 observables or this other shit. So I'm gonna skip that article. They can fuck off. Okay, here we go. This is the mysteriousuniverse.org, right? So if anybody knows this podcast, these guys are great. They talk about all kinds of weird stuff like this. And so this is written by Micah Hanks, and it was put on their website in 2013. And so he's actually talking about this UFO incident, of course, which is what we've been talking about, the same one, the Shag Harbour incident, but he's saying that there was some sort of cover-up with a particular individual that was trying to spin the tale here, to try and take over the narrative and make up some baloney about some other stuff. So again, I encourage you to read all of this stuff because why not? If it's out there, and read it before it disappears, because this is the type of stuff that disappears from the internet, right? Stays up there for a little bit, and then and oddly enough, searching for the stuff for this particular incident, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that's not really there. It's like it's kind of trimmed down to a few minutes, or it's like 2 or 3 hours things where you gotta pour through and here's some nuggets, maybe like this. But here we go. This is from mysteriousuniverse.org. Now this individual, that they're kind of implying that there was a cover up for this. And not just that maybe it could have been like a military or something else that was going on. So this is a story of the retired Lieutenant Colonel Richard French, an alleged former debunker of UFO sightings throughout the American Project Blue Book years, has been causing quite a stir recently in the same vein. French, who testified at the recent citizens' hearing on disclosure in Washington, D.C., had long claimed knowledge of separate incidents that paralleled the Roswell UFO crash. In addition to having seen a UFO repair job being undertaken off the coast of Newfoundland sometime in the 50s, right? Okay, hold on. A UFO repair job, right? Newfoundland, 50s, right? What's going on with that? Granted, there are also a number of facts that have emerged more recently that beg further question about French and his background. So is there still merit to unveil the hidden past of the alleged UFO debunker? And so this guy is actually closely associated with this Nova Scotia crash in '67. So French testified about this incident while he was in Washington a few weeks ago, but there were aspects of his story, as is usually the case, that were being underreported by the media. For instance, it soon came to light that French had been mentioned by name in John Keel's book, The Mothman Prophecies, in addition to photos documenting his time in the Air Force, which were obtained by Antonio Hunius and the folks at Open Minds. If anything, it seems clear that at least certain parts of French's story were true, and yet, despite the detective work into who he was, and whether his claims ring true, there's been a lot of criticism and heated debate over the idea that facts about his background, if they were indeed secret, could ever be obtained. So this is a guy from the Air Force, possibly, right? That's kind of sitting around. He's testifying at Washington. He's mentioned in John Keel's book, The Mothman Prophecies. Again, right? He's kind of like one of these UFO lurkers that has official ties to possibly what? The CIA or some other clandestine services that are out there, the alphabet soup of the American law, right? CIA, the FBI, the NSA, whoever they are. And so He's doing it through Canadian, or no, French, through the French intelligence, I believe. So commenting on the article that was originally featured at the Graylian report, many argued that if French's background had been with secret Air Force operations, that it was essentially useless to try and find information about such past operations. This may seem logical to some, and for many to assume that French's work had been a secret nature would also mean that it would essentially be useless to look for evidence to support his UFO claims. Meaning he's a disinformation agent, right? Disinformation. See, I can't even speak tonight. Damn it. I'm all over the place. All right, let's see. Larry says, any follow-up on the Brazilian crash? Not that I've seen. Again, it kind of, they come and they go, right? They come and they go, and then people forget about them, and that's that. What's up? William says, Brazilian crash never happened, according to Richard Dolan. And from some of the things that I've seen, I may be even inclined to agree with that. Okay, so let's see. So this guy goes on, blah, blah. Let's skip to the end. So without question, there is some official information that is kept from the public. Elements of the ongoing UFO narrative are probably missing, at least so far as what civilians can access today. But we have to start somewhere, and subjecting ourselves to willful ignorance with regard to the information we can access won't do us any good. Whether or not we can uncover the complete story at present, we must strive to put together the pieces we have, rather than overlook them based solely on presumptuous attitudes. And thus, here, the evidence seems to suggest that at least some of French's claims about being a former Project Blue Book debunker may still actually be true, after all. But the rest, as they say, does still appear to remain a mystery. So again, this guy, these people kind of come out of the woodwork, and they show up, and they're doing their debunking things. Who do they actually work for? Are these what the Men in Black are? Or maybe like Eddie said with MUFON, where they just show up, maybe in military fatigues to throw you off, to maybe they're not part of the military at all. Like, who knows, right? And this is part of what the hell the issue is when you're talking about all this stuff and dealing with official sources and funded, like government funded things like MUFON was. Wait, were they? No, I think Bigelow was funded and then funded them. I don't know. Anyway, so you get the point, right? That who can you trust, basically? When it comes down to all this, who the hell can you trust? I think that's part of the problem. And part of the reason we do this, because you really just don't know. But what do you guys think? Given that they say that there were three or four flying lights landed in the water, and then they had two of them, a second one 2 days later come meet them outside the harbor as was that a UFO repair job? Did one UFO show up to bring parts to the other one, or help them get their shit in gear so they could fly back to Alpha Centauri? Is that what we're doing here? Pretty crazy stuff. What's up, Lee? Says they seem to crash a lot, these bloody aliens. I agree, and that's part of it. What's up, Lee? That's a great point, and I think that's it, right? So I think given that all of this, we talk about this before, we've talked about it a lot. So what makes you think, right, given that aliens can fly wherever the hell they fly from, right, whether it's dimensional, whether it's from Alpha Centauri or wherever you think it might be, like they get here, they make all that treacherous journey in open outer space, and then they get here and they crash? I mean, there's something wrong with that too. I agree with you. Like there's, like it is a funny statement, but it's true. It's true. Okay, so let's see. What else do we got? There's some other articles here. I'm going to link some of these. Mysteries of Canada and the Shag Harbour UFO incident. Pretty good articles. If you guys want to look into this, there's again, you gotta comb through all this stuff to get all the details. There's so much details talking about this, and the different people that were involved, and the witnesses that came forward, and the folks that are actually not the military people that are off the record, right? That say that they witnessed this thing happen. And if you want the skeptic's take, this guy's kind of a dick, but you can listen to Skeptoid. This guy will tell you that it was just just nothing to see here. This guy does the swamp gas type stuff. Let's see. Do we have part of this? Let's see. How long does this go?
Your access.
No, that's not. It doesn't go. This is not the thing. All right, I'd have to get it. So here's his entire thing. This is Brian Dunning from the Skeptoid podcast, and basically he just shits on everything. And he goes, "Well, science doesn't say it's real, so that's definitely not real." And then he'll find 3 or 4 sources and say that it's not real. That say it's not real, and then he proves it's not real. And he says, beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's not real. And that's Brian Dunning for you. He was actually on Joe Rogan a long ass time ago, and that was a really funny one. But yeah, because Joe Rogan kind of put him in his place. It was pretty funny, but. He does his thing, right? Proponents, here, let's read some of it. Proponents of the alien spacecraft explanation, we're talking about Shag Harbour, have consistently claimed that the government ruled out flares as a possible explanation. If true, it would be interesting to see what led the government to this conclusion. It turns out that the source of this assertion is a memo from October 6th written by Colonel W.W. Turner. The Coordination Center conducted preliminary investigation and discounted the possibilities that the sighting was produced by an aircraft, flares, floats, and any other known objects. He says, okay, but this still doesn't let us know. Anyway, so he goes and takes the official story and says, look, the official story is true. It's not aliens, it's the official story. And that's really what this guy kind of does. And then he does it in some I know it, I know all, and you don't know shit. And, his delivery is disgusting. So anyway, I'm not really a fan of the guy, but I'm pointing him out in case you want to give yourself a good chuckle and see what so I agree that if you believe all the things all the time, I think it's a problem, because you probably shouldn't. But I think if you're in the same camp of I disbelieve all the things all the time, I think you're also Brian Dunning of Skeptoid Podcast. Let's see. Johnson One Step says Dr. Stephen Greer said it was radio frequencies. What's that? The Shag Harbour thing, or something else entirely? I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Okay, so we got some again. Here's that thing I was talking about. It's kind of like Shag Harbour. There's like a little UFO center. It's got a little sign on the side of the the side of the building. I think they can try a little harder than that. Let's see if we can get a better picture of that. Let's see. Yeah, let's zoom in. Here we go. We're going to zoom in because this is pretty cool. All right, so this is the in Nova Scotia, presumably. Here's the UFO Center. See the sign over here on the right side? Oh yeah, let's make full screen. There we go. So the sign over here on the right side, there's your UFO Center. Nova Scotia. So I mean, this is it's cute, right? It's a cute little yellow house with some Canadian flags on there and some UFO Center on the side. What's up, Millie? Says, yeah, just mass hallucinations, just as it said about the Mandela effect. Yeah, exactly. And those drones in Colorado, right, that everybody saw across the state, but then they started saying, well, no, it was just mass hallucinations and media hype. Yeah, sure. Sure. I think it's not so easy as that to explain things away, I think maybe some people are satisfied with those explanations. I'm not. But again, I'm not saying everything's aliens. I'm not saying everything's not. I'm saying we should be very careful about what we believe and be in the interim, trying to figure it out. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. This is from the CBC.ca, which I believe is a Canadian public broadcasting, right? They probably ate over there. But here we go. There we go. All right, so as we finish this up, let's see. What do we got time-wise? Yeah, we got a few minutes left. So I want to hear your takes on this. If we don't have takes on this, we're going to finish this early because there's not a lot. Actually, no, we probably got enough to go to probably the 3-hour mark. So here we go. So given that Georgios Tsoukalos and ancient astronaut theorists say yes, that some sort of alien craft crashed in Shag Harbour in 1967. And then, as a result of this, it kind of was underwater, moving, witnessed by not just civilians, but by military. And then it exited the harbor, sat for a couple days as it waited for another light to appear underwater with it. So now there's two lights, presumably the alien repair job, right, where one shows up to help the other that's in distress. It crashed, etc., so on. And then they fly, like the Russian submarine shows up, and these things just take off. They boogie, they take off at sea, and then they just burst out of the water and disappear into the night sky. So there's the take on this. There's the what would you call it? The tinfoil hat take, let's say. That's probably the best way to put it. So yeah. UFO crashing in general. Let's see. Johnson says, by the way, Mike, if you listen to the State of National Security about 4 hours long by Greer, he mentions that's how the Army took one down. By radio frequencies? That's how they bring them down? Okay, so they fly here and we bring them down. That's what he's saying? All right, okay. I could listen to Stephen Greer, I think. Okay, so this is a shagharbourufo.com. Holy crap. When there's no spaces, my brain spurgs out. Okay, here we go. So this is the where I got those fantastic newspaper clippings from the Chronicle here, the Chronicle Herald, and the sign on the site of the 1967 UFO incident. So if anybody's out in that neck of the woods, if you can get us some awesome pictures, that would be sweet. Here's where the actual map is and where you can visit this Shag Harbour incident. Let's see. We got Digby, that's a pretty cool name. We got Tiverton, we got Church Point. Yeah, Yarmouth, all kinds of Shelburne, Canadian names. Shag Harbour down here on the bottom left by Woods Harbour and Cape Sable Island. So pretty good stuff, right? I think this is pretty neat. If I lived in that area, I would certainly go check it out and find out what the hell's going on down there. At least, 50 years later. So yeah, there it is. Let's so we played the the History Channel version of this in the beginning. So I got 3 more clips. Let's play those real fast as we wind this up, and listen to what another show that's not the History Channel has to say about the Shag Harbour incident. So quick, just three quick clips, and then still taking phone calls if you guys have interest in this, or you want to tell me if you think this is real or aliens or something in between. You tell me based on the information you've heard, based on what you've gathered tonight, or maybe you know more that I don't. I think that's again why we do this live, because I want to know, like, if you know a particular detail from a guy that said this or did that. Whatever. Those are the types of details that are important to these types of cases. So let's, if you hear it, please let me know. If you know it, let me know. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, and yeah, there we go. Let's go. Shag Harbour Part 1, and this is again a different story, not the History Channel. Somebody else telling this, and action.
172 miles away from the nearest international airport and 178 miles away from any Air Force testing range, Shag Harbour, Nova Scotia is an unlikely location for sightings of unidentified spacecraft. But UFO investigator Chris Stiles has come to this tiny outpost on the eastern edge of North America because of stories his grandfather told him about one strange October night in 1967. Stiles has uncovered an extraordinary paper trail of evidence, confirming that something anomalous, something very unconventional, crashed into the Atlantic off the coast of Shag Harbour, just as his grandfather had always described.
He told me about a 60-foot disc with 4 bright white lights that had hovered for a time in the air, tilted at a 45-degree angle, and slid down and hit the water surface with a loud noise.
Nearly 30 years after the crash, Stiles has discovered that there were many other eyewitnesses who still remember the crash like it was yesterday.
We thought it was a plane crash. The way it turned out we don't know what it was.
Laurie Wickens is a local fisherman, born and raised around Shag Harbour. He was driving at night with several friends when he spotted the strange craft.
We just come over that hill and we was driving towards Woods Harbour and we see lights. We thought it was an airplane that was coming on and going off. 4 in sequence, 1 would come on, and 2, and 3, and 4, then they'd all be out for a few seconds, then it'd start over.
Wickens and his friends saw the object crash into the harbour. They called the RCMP, who responded to the impact site.
At that time, there was a single light, maybe a half mile offshore, quite visible, but it was really dark. I was left on shore to keep an eye on the light and to watch where if anything happened to it, and briefly interview the witnesses as I was doing it. Within 5 minutes, 7 minutes, the light extinguished.
There you go, an eyewitness. He was actually there. He was presumably one of the teenagers, right, that I was making fun of, which, whatever. It is what it is. So he actually said he saw the lights. He was there, listen to how polite he sounded, right? Like, again, William on Facebook says, aliens be like, the earthlings in this region are polite, eh? There you go. There's a Canadian jab. If you ain't heard one yet, well, Colin, that's pretty funny when the insult to your country is, wow, those people are awfully polite. that's your insult, the Canadian insult. Okay, a couple more we're going to play. Again, Shag Harbour. So this individual was a witness. He saw it. He was there waiting to interview witnesses or whoever else, right? Victims maybe from the plane crash or whatever it was. And so that was part 1. Here's part 2. And Canadians, polite Canadians in action, part 2 action.
The RCMP alerted the Coast Guard, and until they arrived, local fishermen scoured Shag Harbour looking for survivors of what was thought to be a light plane crash. Captain Lawrence Smith was among the first to reach the impact site.
All I saw was some heavy yellow foam floating on the water. It was thick like shaving cream, but it was about 3 inches thick on top of the water. There was no smell. And I thought then, well, if a plane crashed and it skidded across the water for a ways, that it wouldn't make a foam. But then I couldn't figure out why it would be yellow.
Early search and rescue efforts were conducted in full view of the public. films were made. Newspapers carried the story as front-page news. Then, without warning, there was no more public disclosure. Chris Stiles believes this is because of what may have been found there.
I believe that this was a device, possibly a craft, possibly a probe, from another intelligent civilization, not of this earth.
Stiles has reached this conclusion after examining hundreds of documents obtained through the Canadian version of the U.S. Freedom of Information Act. Among the documents he has uncovered is this Canadian Armed Forces memo stating that the Rescue Coordination Center conducted preliminary investigation and discounted the possibilities that the sighting was produced by an aircraft, flare, or any other known objects.
There were a number of related sightings that night. In those hours before, an Air Canada flight saw UFO activity on the horizon. They were greatly disturbed. There was apparently large explosions occurring, and as the phenomena approached the aircraft, there was a lot of communication with the towers, and eventually it was decided to vacate the airspace and seek alternate routes.
Okay, so he has knowledge of air traffic control that night, and he says that different aircraft were told to vacate the area, right, for their safety, because they weren't exactly sure what was going on there. And that other individual there said that he without a doubt, he believes 100% that craft was some sort of alien probe, some sort of alien scout ship, some sort of something from another world. He doesn't believe it was anything terrestrial whatsoever, nothing military. And there we go. There we go. What's up, Tamron from South Africa? Thanks for showing up. We got Millie. Millie says the narrator on the show sounds like he was from 1967. Was the show made back then too? I don't think so. I think this is probably like before the History Channel kind of modernized all the the ancient astronaut theorists say yes, kind of turned it into a little bit better productions. There was that weird time between the 80s and like 2000 where things were kind of sounding like the 60s, you know what I'm saying? Stylistic. What's up, Patrick says, yeah, because mass hallucinations happen all the time. Well, exactly. That's my point, right? So some of the generic explanations for this stuff just don't cut it, especially given, all the eyewitness accounts. Again, right, this is what you call compelling evidence. You have actual people that were on scene. They saw particular things. You have fishermen that actually were out there before the Coast Guard arrived, because they were already right there on Shag Harbour, able to hop in the boat, or were already in the boat, and they were out there looking at this light down underneath the water with their own eyeballs, from very close to it. They were trying to catch it. So there's something to this. There's definitely something to this, that there's some compelling evidence here. Again, is it aliens that one crash landed, the other one came and helped it, and the Russian sub shows? Does the Russian submarine showing up have anything to do with this? Is it, you think maybe they caught some, intercepted some information and showed up to maybe take a look and see what was going on? You know what I mean? So who really knows what's going on with all of that? That's entirely impossible to tell. What's up, Michael says, this is Canada's Roswell. I already said that, man. I said that hours ago. Yeah, it's totally Canada's Roswell, Shag Harbour. And so that's the thing, right? So what do you believe, Michael, or anybody else out there? Do you believe that this was actually aliens, or do you think this was some sort of military thing? Or clearly it wasn't a plane crash, because we would have radar data, we would have missing people, we would have all kinds of different things, right? Different compelling evidence regarding those things, right? Regarding that hypothesis. Okay, so I think we can safely say it's probably not a plane crash, all right? Like most likely, almost emphatically, no, not a plane crash, all right? But then what does that mean? Does that mean that it's some sort of military project, right? Who knows? Like, I think that's still where we're at, because the military did seem to give it a bunch of information, a bunch of attention. Like they gave it a lot of attention, and they spent a lot of time around it. Again, an entire full week before the thing apparently pulled out to sea, is what they said. So again, right, this thing lands. It lands in the water. They think it's a plane crash. The fishermen show up. There's a glowing orb under the water. There's yellow foam about 3 inches thick, he said, like shaving cream, he said, right there from the eyewitness. We've got teenagers that were witnesses. We got the Royal Canadian Mounted Police that saw it in his car on his way there. I mean, we got a lot of actual different people that saw this thing. And then we have, now this is where it gets a little sketchy, okay? Because 20 years later, something like this, whatever it happens to be, now we get these unofficial reports start leaking, okay? And so you get the military saying this or saying that, and that's when things are off the record saying this or that, and I think that's when things get a little bit weird, because then, like, it turns into aliens, right? It almost seems like many of these things are manufactured to maybe whoop up some hysteria or whoop up some clicks or some paywalls they can put stuff behind. I don't know. I don't really know. This is a little bit weird. What's up? What's up, Hidden Gnostic? Hello from Canada, eh? It says, first time checking in live. Love the show. Thank you for covering these topics. Hey, thanks for showing up. Thanks for being so polite, Hidden Gnostic, eh? Canadians. Love those Canadians, I tell you what. Let's see. Patrick says, Canadian Navy watched them for the couple days. Yeah, not only that. So it says they watched them for 2 days and then a week. Like, so that we're talking, it came out of the harbor. It sat there just outside the harbor. It was joined by a second light 2 days later underwater. And then for a week they sat there, and they were actually about to go do something about it. The Russian sub shows up, and then these things they take off, and then they fly off into the sky. So definitely crazy stuff there. What's up? Michael says, yes, I'm a former Canadian Armed Forces, Army, 1 PPCLI. I don't know what that means. I'm a Yankee, bro. I don't do Canadian letters. But I do know Canadians are polite, eh? Patrick says also the basis for Iron Giant. Is it? I'm not sure. I've never seen that. But okay, so back to that. Back to Shag Harbour. We got one more clip I'm going to play here, part 3 of this. But again, what do you think? What do you guys think? Was it aliens? Was it military? Was it something that maybe it wasn't aliens, but it's something else we can't explain? Well, let's see. Johnson there says that he sees. Greer says that we're shooting down these aliens with frequencies, right? Radio frequencies. That's how we're knocking these aliens out of the sky. That doesn't seem logical to me at all, because don't you think that they would know about radio frequencies and how to defend themselves against them, being aliens and all? Being able to interstellar or interdimensional travel. That doesn't seem like a thing to me. Sherry says both. So military thing and aliens maybe. Yeah, definitely crazy stuff. Who knows? Again, I don't know. I have no answers here. If I had answers, I just read you the answers and the show would be over. So that's not what this is about. It's about you. It's about finding out what you think. And one more time, as we finish this up, we're going to play one more clip and then finish it out. But if you want to be a part of the show, you have a take on this. What do you think? I want to hear what you think. 702-957-1037. Join the Discord. Troubledminds.org is the official website. You can join the Discord. It's free for the international types that don't like the 702 area code, which is Las Vegas, by the way, if you're not familiar with that. And that's it. Sherry says, more like magnetic problems. Okay, so they come here and then they have magnetic issues and they crash. Is that what's going on? Again, there's something weird with all of this. Michael says, I have seen a lot of first and second encounters from being in the Army. Oh, there you go. You're the type of guy we need to talk to. Would you give us a call? Let us know, man. Let us know. This is why we do it live. This is why we include you, because we want to know about this stuff. And without people coming forward like you, with like Eddie from Las Vegas, we have Benjamin from Virginia for a long time. Like there's lots of people that come forward and say that they've seen these things. And Kelly's seen them. Kelly from Colorado. Like we got a lot of people that have called into this show and been part of this and actually told us about some first or secondhand encounters they've seen from the Army. So yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about. Johnson says exactly. I don't believe it. Just funny. You don't believe the entire Shag Harbour thing, or you just like to say the word shag. You dirty Brit. Okay, limeys. You dirty limeys. If I offended you with that, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Actually, I'm not. I'm not. Okay. All right, here we go. You can call me a Yankee or Yankee Doodle or whatever. I don't care what you call me. All right, let's see. Sherry says, call Michael. Let's hear you. There you go. They're like, call in. There you go. You're being mobbed. You're being summoned, Michael. With your encounters from the Army in Canada there. So I'm going to play this last clip. I put the phone numbers up. If you want to give it a call, that's a Las Vegas area code. If you want to join the Discord, that's free. You have an internet connection. You download the Discord client. You can find the invite on troubledminds.org on the very top of the website. click the Discord link. It will give you an invite to the server, and we can put you on the show. But here we go. We're going to play part 3 as the people in Facebook egg you on to call in, and let's hear the end of the Shag Harbour incident from a different perspective here. And they're saying definitively, at least one individual in there said that definitively this is the thing. I got this call coming in. Actually, let's take this phone call. That was fast. Actually, this is somebody else. Let's take this, I think. Let's see. Johnson says, we will get Richie on your show. Okay, on my birthday. All right. Let me know. We'll talk about that on the radio frequency. Hey, Johnson? You just tuned in the right radio frequency. All right, we're going to go to this phone call. What's up? You're on Trouble Minds with Mike. What's your first name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is James. I'm calling from Cottage Grove, Minnesota.
James from Minnesota. What's up, my man? What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, I sent in a video. Actually, my screen name is GameVet02.
Yes.
I know you were talking about the UFO phenomenon happening, and last week I sent you a video to share with everybody what I captured out in my front yard.
Okay, and that is correct. And so I was looking for you at the beginning of the show because I was saying that I can't find that video now. It's been deleted. Like, it's not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the message you sent to me is gone. I saw it when you sent it initially,
Really?
and I thought you deleted it. I thought you retracted it when I looked the second time because I went back to give it a closer look. It's gone, like gone.
Sure.
So before the show tonight, I combed through all the social media to see if I missed it somewhere. But as far as I'm aware, it's been deleted. So I don't know if that was something you did maybe on accident or if there's some, maybe nefarious hands at work here trying to delete that thing. I don't know. I don't know regarding that, but I do know I don't have that video. I tried to pull it up because I knew you were going to call around this time, but no dice, my man. No dice.
I can share it again if you like.
Yeah, please send it over. I'll take a look at it, and then we'll if you got a few minutes, hopefully we can stay on and pull this up and take a look at it right now. That would be great.
All right, let me send it right here.
Fantastic.
There you go. I just sent it through Messenger.
Okay, Messenger on Facebook. All right, let's pull this up. Let's make sure that we're not going to divulge any details here, personal details. Okay, let's see. And you sent it to Michael Strange, correct?
I think so.
All right, let's see. Let me see. All right, come on, Facebook. You can do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, what the hell? All right, let's see. Yeah, nothing, dude. Nothing.
It's weird.
Hold on. Let me
You
check
got
the
it
pages.
before?
Yeah, I did see it before. So I actually saw you sent me a message. It was like a nice little note about who you were and, blah, blah, and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, cool, sweet. This is something we can look at. Wait, is that right? Oh, there we go. I think it just went through. There we go. It just popped up. Let's see. Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, let's watch this.
Cool.
All right. Sweet. Okay. So it did come through this time. It has not deleted. Maybe I'm just an idiot. You can call me an idiot. It's fine. All right. So let's play this. We got a video here from James from Minnesota, and you were the truck driver, correct? You say you're out there watching all kinds of stuff in the sky all the time, right?
Right. Yeah, I actually, I drive all night, 5 days a week, overnight, and I run a dash cam in my truck every night just to see if I capture anything. Also, when I get home, I have cameras rolling outside the home too. So with this video, I just got home from work, and something, I don't know what it was, something told me to take out the phone and start recording, and I was just standing on my patio, and that's where I captured this object. So I just wanted to get your opinion on it and see what you thought about it.
Okay, let's take a look. I'm playing it right now. This is from his YouTube channel, GameVet, and we'll play it with the audio here and action. GameVet02.
Yeah, you'll first initially see the flash, and then it'll switch screens, and you'll see where we zoomed in on it to see what exactly it was.
Okay, I saw that. All right, I'm going to rewind that so you guys can see when it flashes. So up there on the right side of the screen, So it looks dark, but then something flashes over on the right side. He zooms in on it very well. But I can share this link to everybody, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Drop in a link in if you guys want to check it out full screen for yourselves. But we're gonna look at this here right now and keep on playing. Here we go. Here's playing it again. Here's the flash that happens. It's gonna happen right about now.
And then it'll switch screens to a green screen where we zoomed in on it and can see what it actually looks like.
What the hell is that? Is that like plasma moving around the sky? Whoa. Okay.
You got.
Okay, so
You'll see it zoom by in the green screen, and it actually, I think it looks like a triangle.
Yeah, so it looked like a yellowish colored triangle, but it's a green screen, so it's hard to really tell what color that would have been. But kind of comes in and out of the thing right there. Okay, there we go. Let's kill that. I'm gonna just keep this looping as we talk about this, and we'll keep watching this. But yeah, what the hell? What is that? So that's definitely a triangle, and that's what's going on in the sky there. This seems like some sort of like plasma swirl in the sky as well. That's not like a.
I think that's just the camera. I think the other stuff is just the camera trying to focus in on the darkness, and cameras have a problem with that.
I see. Okay, so nothing anomalous there. It's just a camera artifact.
No.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
It's just the triangle deal that goes by. Excuse me. It almost looks like. Well, from what I can tell of the video after doing some research on it, it looks like it is coming from the east moving west, and then it turns, and then it goes south. Now, the main video I have, the real, unedited video I have, it actually, when it turns, it zips to the right, going south, and I couldn't even turn my body fast enough to actually catch it on camera because it was moving that fast.
Wow.
And I don't know what kind of aircraft can actually turn that fast, to do that maneuver, but yeah.
I'm not an aviation expert or anything, but yeah, I don't see airplanes do that on the regular, if you ask me. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
But I know with my naked eye, when I originally saw it, I had the phone sitting on top of my grill. I was out on the patio, and I was just looking up in the sky. And then when I initially saw the flash, it was actually bright white, and it had this huge blue hue around the flash. And the flash is actually where you see it turn.
Yeah, it actually picks it up perfectly. You can see the thing like kind of pitch away from you.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Holy shit, that's some pretty good footage, whatever the hell that thing is.
Yeah, well, thank you.
And you see them all the time, you say, right? You're out there on the road, you got the dash cam rolling, so you're kind of seeing UFOs really all the time.
All sorts of different stuff. I've out here in Wisconsin, I've heard like the metal grinding sound with a high pitched. It sounded like a circular saw, but it was louder than my semi driving 65 miles an hour down the highway with the window down, and it was louder than the traffic passing the opposite way.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's just it's insane. I see a whole bunch of different stuff. So now I just bought a new camera. It's a night vision camera and stuff like that, and I'm going to be focusing on trying to record the skies more often because it's certainly getting more populated out here. I can just say it that way.
Yeah, right. Like you saying there's more aliens from Alpha Centauri showing up to say hi, something like that.
Something, I don't know, man. It's nuts, man.
I think they're interested in our election, man.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe, right? Yeah, this is fantastic footage.
That's all I can say about this.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you. Yeah,
Go ahead.
You guys, study it. Leave a comment on my thing and let me know what you guys think. I mean, I have a bunch of other people trying to figure it out, and we can't come up with anything.
Yeah, it definitely has a triangular shape, and it definitely appears to be turning, like banking away from you, and like comes and goes super fast, like snap your fingers flash. Yeah, that's crazy. That is nutter butters. Oh, okay, so what's your take? What's your take on aliens? So just for general purposes, none of us have all the answers, but if you had your best guess, what would you think? Do you think that aliens are here, and this is like what we're seeing is maybe part of that phenomena, or do you think that a lot of the things instead are some sort of military stuff that they're just not telling us?
I mean, I don't know. I could go both ways, really, because who's to say if the aliens are the ships? I mean, the ships could be the aliens, and there might not be any, little green men or gray men on the inside. I don't know. Nobody has one that I know of that can prove they exist. But all I can say is, I've seen these ships firsthand, and they are out there. I don't know if you remember the Bet spheres, those metallic, or they look like stainless steel balls. There's one guy on YouTube, he has one. Me and another trucker, my coworker, both him and I saw these things. There was 5 on the side of a road, on the side of the highway, hovering where the cops sit, in between the 2 highways. There's 3 on top, 2 on bottom. They were evenly spaced out. It's crazy. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like this stuff is out there. And again, part of the reason for the show is exactly for that reason, because look, if we didn't do this and did this like we do it so you could call in and share this stuff, like this stuff kind of goes like people don't see it, But if we all get together and we're sharing this stuff, we have a platform and we're like, no, look, like, I don't know what it is, but this shit is out there. Like, for sure, this shit is out there, right? I mean, it's happening. It is definitely happening. So on your YouTube channel, do you have more? There's more here?
No, I don't. I mean, by the time I get my phone out or whatever I have to record, the stuff's gone. Like, a few weeks ago, for example, we had major thunderstorms and tornadoes rolling through the area. Well, we went downstairs, to take cover, whatever, and we stayed down there for a while. And then the news was saying it was going away. So we went upstairs to put my daughter to bed, and my wife says, "Hey, why don't you go look outside, see where the clouds are, just to make sure the storm's gone." I said, "Hey, that's a good idea." I open up the curtain, and I'm looking up at the clouds, and it's, sure enough, it's going away. But then something caught my eye, and I look to my left, and here, about 2 blocks away, here's this huge craft. That was a C-shaped craft. It was like 2 stories tall, sitting there, like just above the trees, and it had what was it? 2, 4, it had 6 kind of whitish, yellowish, basically like headlights in it, inside the circle, inside the C circle there, we'd say. And it was slowly moving towards my location. And I said, "Honey, you gotta come over here, look at this." And she says, "What, the plane?" I said, "No, come here, look at this." And meanwhile, while she's walking around the bed, I'm trying to grab my phone, put it on, the camcorder mode or whatever. She opens up the curtain. She says, "What is that?" And all of a sudden, when I went to hit record, the lights shut off, and just like you shut off a light switch, it was gone. Like, it just disappeared.
Holy smokes.
And this was, by that time, it was a block away from my house. We were on the second floor of the house. And this thing was maybe, I don't know, 50 feet taller than where we were, maybe, if that. And I mean, it was close. I could give you exactly, like, inside the circle where the C would be, there was actually vents, like small vents in between, spaced out individually, where it looked like, the heat vents for that motorcycles have. The motorcycle motors, they have the heat fins for the motor to disperse the heat or whatever.
Yeah.
This thing inside the C circle, it had those same vents in it. And then the lights were behind the vents, and it's just nuts. I mean, the thing was like charcoal gray in color, real dark, ominous looking thing. It had some antennas on the top. It had like circular patterns that stuck out on the sides, some square patterns. It really, if you look at what the Millennium Falcon looks like, it looked like that, only the front end was spread open more, and the inside was actually had a round shape cut out in it. But I don't know what the back looked like. I just saw like the side and the front, and yeah, it was very menacing. I can say that. I just couldn't believe that it just. What's that?
No, go ahead. Go ahead and finish.
Oh, I just couldn't. I didn't know what to make of it after the light shut off, and it just totally vanished. Like, it's here and now it's not. It's like, you know what people do, how they make it look like they disappear on camera, how they shut the camera off and then they move, and then you shut the camera or turn the camera back on. It was that same effect.
Yeah,
like
totally.
You're here, boom, you're gone. You know?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like comic book stuff. Like, that just doesn't happen in real life.
Right.
Yeah, that's
right.
nuts.
Yeah, well, it does now.
Yeah, it does now. Exactly.
It does now.
It does now. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so
I don't even think any.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You don't think what?
Oh, I was just gonna say I don't think the military has anything like that at all.
You would think not. You would think not. I mean, well, okay. How about if they've been reverse engineering UFOs like Bob Lazar said? Then they might, right?
Then they might, yeah.
Yeah.
But even back in the 60s, I don't think they had invisible technology like that, though.
Yeah, that's the Philadelphia experiment, right? Like they were working on that cloaking, the complete invisibility, and the rest of this. Yeah, it's hard to say. Like this is fantastic footage. If you get do you have other stuff from your webcam, or sorry, from your dash cam? Do you have other things you can show or share with us?
You know, I work on it every day, and honestly, most of the stuff I see, this dash cam, it says it's good for nighttime, and it's really not. Normally I see more stuff than the camera picks up, so that's why I bought the new camera here with the night vision. So I'm going to come up with how to mount it in the semi as I'm driving, and then also do some recording on the weekends and stuff, see if I can capture more stuff out there.
Nice. I've actually got a commercial license as well. I spent some time driving, and the things you see out there are like when you're out there at night, right? Like there's literally like you and you're just trying to stay alive, keep everything straight, and you get a ton of time to just watch the sky. It's unbelievable. And some of the things you see, like that's actually some time where I saw some really crazy shit in the sky and wish that I had a dash cam or some kind of quick camera. But you see how fast this happens. It comes and goes like zip, right in and out of the frame. If you didn't have the camera up and ready, there's no chance you ever would have caught this.
No, I know. Like 2 days before I got my dash cam, I was coming up over a hill, and there was this small little storm cloud just kind of moving along on its own, just, real slow. All of a sudden I go down the hill, and all of a sudden it would look like a headlight turned on inside the cloud. It just turned on. And then it was kind of looking down and to the right. It was my left. And I'm like, what is that? Because it just turned on, like pink, it was on. It didn't fade up, it just turned on. So then I went down the hill, and I was staring at this thing. I'm like, what is that now? And then when I came up the second hill, it was a little more steep, so my headlights were actually kind of pointing in that direction towards the cloud there. All of a sudden, this light, it turned right in my direction, stopped, and then it acted as if it jumped or got startled, because it kind of shook and kind of went backwards. And then with that, it just went down, made a U-type turn, kind of like down, turned around, the light shut off, and then it just, zoop, it was gone. I'm like, how does that happen?
Yeah, that's you got me. Again, I'm the questions guy. I'm not the answers guy, man.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen videos online on YouTube where, people see lights in the clouds or whatever. I get it. but this had a reaction to my headlights as it went up to the clouds. It noticed I was there, and it acted like if you saw the movie Bumblebee, when the guy came in the door, Bumblebee shook and got startled. That's exactly how it responded. Like it couldn't believe I was right there. It's just crazy. I mean, anybody can't make this up. I don't know, man. There is something out there for sure.
Yeah, well, what it is, I think, is the eternal question. Well, we'll keep asking it for sure. So, you think it's somewhere in between? You think there's aliens? I don't want to put aliens as aliens as in your mouth, but
I kind of want it to be, but then I don't at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like I'm sure there are, but right now I can't confirm either way. I don't know. I think about 80% of me thinks it's the ships that are the aliens, and I think the ships are actually alive.
Yeah, exactly. That it seems like it seems like we got our handful with whatever the hell this might be. A quick question for you while we got you on the phone here is, have you had any kind of bizarro type of missing times? That's a great question, Millie. I was about to ask him that too. Like, have you had any like situations? Because it seems like if you keep seeing these, many people that claim they do, kind of like Eddie from Las Vegas here, it's like once you see it once, you tend to see them more. So it's almost as if they're showing themselves to you more, or if maybe they're interested in you, and that's why you see them. Have you had any weird anythings other than just kind of seeing them casually like this?
Well, I know my dad when my dad is a Vietnam vet, and he said he saw a craft. He was in Okinawa, and he was in a helicopter, and he said that when they were flying over a hill, all of a sudden there was a saucer there with the windows on the sides, and I guess the pilot freaked out, and then they had to take a hard turn away from it, and they were told that they could never speak of that incident again. And that's all I heard about that.
The military code of silence.
I do believe it is something. Yeah, exactly. They said if somebody talks about it, they will get a bullet.
Wow.
That's what was said. And so yeah, he never mentioned anything to anybody, but he mentioned it to me. He's passed now. He's gone. So, but he was able to tell me the story. I have no affiliation with the military at all. So, yeah, I don't know. I've just, back in '93, it was me and a buddy of mine. We had an experience, and ever since then, it's been getting. I've been seeing more and more things out there. I had a really strange experience when I was first married. We were getting a divorce. It wasn't missing time, but I actually had a stranger come up to me out of the blue, just at some random gas station. He says, "Hey, I need to talk to you," and he called me by my first name. And I said, "About what?" And this was a guy in a suit wearing a tie, and he had a briefcase. I said, "What do you need to talk to me about?" He says, "It's important." He says, "Do you have time to talk now?" I said, "No." He says, "Well, when can you talk?" And I'm like, "Well, not now." I said, "I gotta go. I gotta go to work." And they said, "Tell you what, I'm gonna be at. All they said is I'm gonna be at the bar on Friday. I'll be there at 9:00. Meet me there at that time." I didn't tell him what bar. I didn't tell him any address. I got there at 8:40. I sat down in a booth, and right at 9:00, that guy came in the door. He sat at my table. Wearing the same suit, briefcase, everything. He starts talking to me. He says, "I know things are tough right now, but it'll get better." And I'm like, "What do you know? How do you know things are going to get better?" He says, "Look, I've done a lot of things in my life. I was a race car driver. I used to fly planes. this guy, he was going through like a laundry list of everything that I wanted to do in life that I wasn't able to do. He was saying it to me for some reason. I don't know why. And I said, so what does this have any significance in what you have to tell me now? And I was down and out. I mean, I had a real rough divorce and all that stuff, and I didn't want to really go on anymore because it just, I'm like, why, it's pointless. So then he's like, well, and then the weird thing is every time I was trying to question him, he'd open up his briefcase and start going through the papers. And he wouldn't answer anything about himself. It was all about me. And then finally I said, so what do you want, guy? I said, what do you need to tell me here? I gotta go. And he says, well, I'll tell you this right now. He says, things are gonna get better. You're going to get remarried and you're gonna have a kid. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? I just got through this divorce. That's the last thing on my mind right now. And, whatever. And then I'm like, God, I can't believe this guy. And then the waitress comes by, right? The waitress comes by at the end of the table. We're at the booth. And then she says, would you like a refill? And I grabbed the bottle. I said, I turned to my side. I turned to my right. And I looked straight in her eyes. I said, yes, please, could I get a refill? And then I leaned into her and I said, do you see this guy right here? And then she goes, he left. I said, what do you mean he left? And I turned to my left and the guy was gone. He was just absolutely gone.
What the hell?
Like he wasn't even there. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, okay, so
I don't know.
So did you end up getting remarried and have a kid?
Yeah. A couple years later, I ended up getting married, and then we had a kid.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the moral of the story. WTF? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That's a weird one. That is a weird one.
Nobody can make. I swear to God, nobody can make this up, and that's a true, honest story.
That's straight out of the Twilight Zone, man.
Every time I talk about it, it makes me shake. I swear to God, because I have no idea. I mean, I was out in the middle of nowhere at some podunk gas station, and all of a sudden this guy walks up to me and he says, hey, and then he calls my name out, I need to talk to you. I'm like, who the hell knows me here? I'm sorry. I'm like, who knows me here? Nobody knows me in the town, and it's just nuts.
That is bizarre.
Absolutely bonkers, man.
That's bizarre. Things are at work we cannot quantify. And here we are, speculating nonetheless.
So if anybody else has an experience like that, let me know, because, I mean, I swear I'm not crazy.
No, nobody believes you're crazy. Come on now. You got, dude, you have photographic proof. You got video proof of some shit. So no, come on. Like you're a step up from the crazies that never have any proof. Here you go. You got some shit right here on video.
Yeah. So, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'm trying to get more, guys. I promise you that. I'm gonna pick up that camera tomorrow. Tomorrow evening. So this weekend I plan on going outside. Hopefully I won't freeze to death and try to get some video footage.
Yeah, make sure you don't freeze to death. That's the most important thing. As you can, man, as you are. Yeah. Get the dash cam, do your thing. If something pops up, you definitely have a platform here. I'd love to share it. I'll link this. I'll actually link your YouTube channel with us on the YouTube channel as well. So if you want to put more stuff up there, we'll be able to funnel people over to you. But yeah, man, fantastic. This is a great video. For whatever reason, I couldn't find it. Like when you sent this back, I went and looked on where you sent it the second time, and the first one was there. So I'm just an idiot. So just FYI, there's no Men in Black here trying to intercept us. I'm just a moron. So just
okay. I was going to say, I wonder if somebody pulled it off or what,
Yeah, no, when I looked for it the second time and then today again, I just couldn't find it, but it was on the other Facebook page that I rarely use. So, yeah, great shit, man. Great shit. James, I appreciate the call. Thank you for sharing. Any final thoughts while we got you on the phone?
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, the pleasure's all mine.
I don't think so. I really can't think of anything. Like guys, if you want to see this stuff really, just look up, because it's out there. And if you're not a believer of this stuff, it's really time you should you should look out, because if they want to let you know that they're there, they will. There's no getting around it. They're either there or they're not. And some days I'll go without seeing anything at all, but lately, I don't know, it's just been weird. I just happen to look a certain direction, and all of a sudden I'll see a glint in the sky. It's like, what's that now?
Yeah, exactly.
You never know, man.
You start to become less amazed. You're like, oh, it's another one.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, though, with that 2-story one, that one kind of got me a little bit, because I've never seen anything that huge other than watching that movie Independence Day. But it wasn't that scale size, but still something that's as big as your house just hovering over the treetops. It kind of gets you a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not something you see every day, and it's like, wow. I honestly wish I had video of that. I think that video would have broke the internet.
Yeah.
Especially with it just disappearing out of the blue.
We're still waiting for that. We're still waiting for somebody somewhere out there to pull that off, because it happens. Again, you've got proof here of shit happening, so it happens. It's definitely happening. I appreciate it, James. You are the man.
Well,
Thank you for the call. Thank you for sharing. God bless. Be safe out there on the road, man. It's not easy, and somebody's got to do it. We need you, my man.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. James from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Thanks for calling, my man. Have a great night. There you go. There you go. Simple as that. See, you can be on the show. And look at this. Look at this. Like, the man has footage. The man has footage of what the hell is this? This is not something as simple as a glider or an airplane, right? It has that triangular shape, but the thing comes in and out of the flash of light unbelievably quickly. Again, I'm going to link this video if you guys want to watch it in full screen, and go ahead and do your what would you think? What would you call it? What would you call it? What would you call it? What do they say? The CSI thing? Is that the thing? CSI? All the letters scrambling around my head. I'm like, the CIA thing? No, not the CIA thing. The CSI thing. The CSI thing. Yeah. So anyway, there's again, James from Minnesota. He's got we got stuff here. We got footage here. We got actual footage here of whatever the hell's going on in the night sky. And we look forward to seeing more from you, James, and also hearing from you more. I appreciate it. Great stories, great individual, great talking to you, and thanks for the call. Thanks for the call. Simple as that, right? Simple as that. See that? No joke. 702-957-1037. You dial the phone number, you get on the show. Right? Simple as that. Simple as that. Yeah. All right. So there it is. There's I linked it. You guys can check it out. CGI. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. CSI, CGI, SCIA. I don't even know. It never ends. It never ends. These 3 letters. Okay. So with all of that said, with not just Shag Harbour, what about James and his UFOs? I know many of you out there have similar stories, have seen similar things. You may or may not have video evidence. That's fine. I don't. I've seen some weird shit, and I don't have evidence of it, right? But it doesn't mean it didn't happen. That's still my reality, right? We were talking about this the other night on Best Damn Podcast. What's up? I see you there, Bailey. Thank you for the shout-out. Much love back. It's the Best Damn Podcast. Matter of fact, we're going to do a show with the Best Damn Podcast. That's a great segue. So as we finish this up, we're going to finish the show up right now. We're just got a couple minutes left. But the Best Damn Podcast on YouTube, right? They're everywhere, actually. They restream just like us. They stream on all the platforms. But do check them out. We're going to have a double stream with them on Tuesday. So regular showtime for us, we're going to be 8 p.m. Tuesday. We're going to do, we haven't decided exactly what we're going to talk about yet, but we will have Bailey here, which is Monochrome on our Discord, if you guys don't know who that is. And happy birthday, by the way, Monochrome. What's up? And so we're going to do Tuesday, and we're going to talk about some pretty interesting things. John and company over there talk about some amazing stuff on a daily basis. That dude and that crew streams like crazy. They do like 5, 6, 7 days a week. Every time I look, they're live. Like after we get off of this show, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to look and check, and just to see. I'll bet you they're still live. Like the dude is an animal. He streams like crazy. Lots of smart conversation going on over there. So we're going to team up with them on Tuesday. If you haven't heard of them, I will link them. Actually, right, I'm going to find them right now. I'm going to find them right now, just so you guys know exactly. Just so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And we'll do it. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. As we finish up, let's go find the Best Damn Podcast, because they might be live right now. They might be live right now. Let's find out. And so we're gonna stream with them. We're gonna meet up with them, and hopefully the first of many future dual streams where we get together and kind of have conversations. Because this is how consciousness evolves, right? Like you get people together, and without judgment, you discuss these things and you talk about all of it. So there you go. Linking it up if you guys haven't seen it. That's John Keane of Best Damn Podcast with a Bailey monochrome on our Discord. Happy birthday! And again, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, he is live. He is live right now. So John, there you go. Here, I'm gonna put him up right now just so we can see real fast, because this dude is the streamingest animal on the internet, I swear. Check this out. And I mean that in a good way. He's live. Dude's live. Dude is live. Here we go. Let's play some of this. Let's unmute this and watch for just a sec. This is John doing his thing on the Best Damn Podcast. They're going to be with us on Tuesday, and you get to see some of this mixed with some Michael Strange and some monochrome in there and some Bailey, and we're going to talk
switch it
about...
up on that stance, guys. You know he did. A lot of you watched me enough for a long time, so if you hear me saying something like this, then you know, like, I had to been shown something, or see something, or know something.
There you go. We're not gonna do that, because he'll probably go all night. So if I leave him up, he's going to be talking for who knows? He might go all night. So we can't keep up with that. But there you go. Do follow them. Go check out their stream. Follow them. They're going to be with us on Tuesday. We're going to talk about all kinds of amazing shit, like we always do. Hopefully, like we always do. See, something was wrong with me on the first half of the show. The back half of the show, I started to get together. I'm telling you, the first half, my brain was broken. There's something just not right yet. Hadn't found my sea legs yet. But I feel good. I feel great right now. I feel like we could go for another 6 hours, but we're not, because that's not what we do. But all right, you guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Tuesday we'll be here with Best Damn Podcast. Next Friday we'll be here with we're gonna do Laura and some of her photographs she's taken of some spirits or apparitions or interdimensional. She sent me a whole slew of pictures, so I'll contact Laura. We'll make sure she gets on here Friday, and then that's what we got on the docket, right? So we're actually making some friends, guys. We're actually making some friends, and guess what? All of those friends include you. So if you're here listening, I consider you a super fan at the end of it, because it's a long show. There's a lot to trip over our own words and my own words and the rest of this and fuck it all up. But you're still here, regardless of all that. So I consider that super fans. Thanks for hanging out. So this show is open to you. Again, the reason we always did this is we didn't want you to have to be Linda Moulton Howe to be on this show. So if you have things, just like James from Minnesota there, had some amazing footage, some amazing stories. Eddie from Las Vegas. We've had Benjamin from Virginia. We've had lots of people with great stories here. And Bailey, I still want to hear your story too. So we have people who've actually had alien experiences. So there we go. All right, we're done. We are finished, and at the end of this, let's see. Let's find some outro music. I didn't reset this thing, so we might get some stutter. Cross your fingers for me. I need good vibrations right about now. We're going to go out with this track, because this track is great. And as we finish, and as we talk, and as we think, and as we look forward to a good weekend, put the energy out. Good weekend for everybody. Yes. Aliens, conspiracy, paranormal. That's right. Troubled Minds Radio. Everything in between. I'm your host, Michael Strange. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. And look forward to you in the next. Please do me a favor. Tell somebody about the show. Just tell somebody, hey, come hang out with us. And you'll see. It's not as bizarro, weird stuff as you think it is, because there's two angles to everything, right? And there's two ways to look at everything, and more than that even. And so just because we say aliens all the time doesn't mean there's always aliens all the time, all right? It also doesn't mean everything's aliens, right? Or everything's not. So that's, you guys know. I'm preaching to the choir. You already know. I'm not telling you anything you don't. But please do share. Let somebody know. That's the way these things grow. Patrick says, good to find this. Thank you. Follow us, troubledminds.org, the official website. We do podcasts, the whole deal. You name it, we're streaming all over the place. There you go. There you go. There you go. Happy birthday again to Bailey. Thanks everybody else for hanging out. The UK crew, Penny there, feel better. Anybody else who's feeling under the weather, good frequencies, good vibrations, do your thing. Rest up, get better. And you're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. Always aliens, we say. Always aliens. Yeah, that's right. That's right. As this music pumps, fantastic. What's up, Blondie 9000? I see you on Twitch. Thanks for showing up. Good night. I see everybody there. I'm watching. I got eyes behind, eyes on the side, eyes underneath, eyes in the back of Twitch. I'm watching everywhere. I see it all. Thanks for listening. Troubled Minds Radio. Michael Strange. That's me. You're you. We're us. Have a great night and a great weekend. Appreciate you listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours. Have a great night. We'll be back, Blondie. Blondie 9000, I see you there. We'll be back. Tuesday night, tune in, 8 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you there.